Wow.
Supposedly that line was
Should the therapist even
Improv.
want the light bulb to change? Shouldn't it just be happy with itself the way it is?
you
You would
know.
hope, right? You said no, Thomas.
I said but I also like the answer of just straight up no.
Oh, convenient.
I mean, the Raven, everybody always says werewolf. They never say howlwolf.
That's true. Oh, that's so sad.
So many good jokes.
There was a Y wolf once though.
Hi everyone in
wow.
chat.
Hey.
We are currently working through some minor technical difficulties. It wouldn't be a Blue Box stream without one or two. But we'll get them worked out. It's no problem.
It's
The
gonna be
most
great.
inquisitive of lycanthropes, the Y-wolf. Or the warehouse. Half man, half house.
The warehouse.
Right there.
Indeed.
That's cursed.
Lycanthropes are the most popular, but truthcanthropes are hardly ever seen.
That's good. That's good, Pat.
How many more monster jokes can we make?
Dude,
Listen, it's not
I'm 57
monster
years
jokes.
old. I got dad jokes out the yin.
It's Frankenstein's monster
Oh,
jokes.
the viewers are pouring in now, guys.
I don't know. This might be my last game, considering with all this shit happening right here. Might have to drop it.
I can't take all the jokes.
It's too much. All this big brain energy, my little brain can't take it.
Dude, I seem to be having a problem. Whenever I type Twitch into my URL bar, it always auto-completes with Heart of Adventure.
Listen here, bud.
Does anybody else have this problem?
No, because I don't type the word heart of adventure in.
I like that Pat just gives you a straight up answer to that question.
Yeah. No, he's the straight man, right? Like, that's the comedy role that he plays. Like,
Yep.
he is
the
the
professional.
average man here.
He is the professional, that is true.
He is the professional. Oh boy,
I am
10
here
of
to
our
keep you
favorite
children in
people
line.
are watching.
Oh, speaking of children,
12.
can I change the age of my character to more suit me? I
I
feel
don't
kind of
personally
bad being
see why
26
not.
years old and I don't know any of the groups in Raven's playlist when she brings them out. It's like everybody else gets all excited and I'm like, who?
I'm into that. You can age up your character or age down your character however you
I
want.
mean, how long do tieflings live?
Everyone
Forever.
lives the same. Everyone lives the same, about a century at max, pretty much.
Oh, okay, so
No, Evelyn's gone too. It's a
R.I.P..
curse. It's taking all of us.
she's mad about the truthcanthrope.
I wonder,
The truthcanthrope set her
where
free.
Evelyn went.
Oh my goodness, Pat.
If I could find good lighting, that'd be awesome. All this lighting sucks today.
My internet just went out, she said.
Ooh, he replies.
Is Josh here?
No.
Shoot.
No, I heard internet went out. I thought Josh.
All right, folks, we might be seeing a 3 o'clock start time, but
right.
that's fine. Oh, Evelyn's back. Thank the Lord.
Boy.
Now we just have to get Cameron on the stream.
Everyone sounded so excited.
Hey.
You're on a phone hotspot?
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
Evelyn is a professional. Nothing will stop her.
It's a powerful hotspot. Get the whole computer to work.
I mean, your computer doesn't need a hotspot to work. You know that, right?
No, I
like,
know.
It's just,
I
it has
know.
to-
Yeah.
Your phone just starts
Oh,
the
no, no.
fans. Your phone grows fans and they start buzzing very loudly. It's a child.
I see no downside to that.
Phone's made by Dell.
Wonderful.
On the upside, Cameron's never looked better tonight.
Ah.
God. Shots fired and we haven't even gotten any guns yet.
Dang.
Well, wait, we have guns. No one's just shot anything.
Yeah.
I have guns as long as those little bastards don't steal them again.
That is
Oh
true.
boy. We got Fraley. We got Haggard the Horrible.
If I keep my hand on my gun all the time, can they take it?
If
Still?
you just keep your hand on your gun all the time.
Just
the future lawyer,
in my
they
shirt.
cannot take it from you. I would encourage you to try that. Hashtag not legal advice.
Because you're not a lawyer yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Technically.
And I can, yeah, you got it.
It's
Do
I
not listen
see.
to a word I say.
I see Cameron on Roll20, but I don't see them on Discord. Hi, Cameron on Roll20. Look at her go.
I see John on Roll22, but he's not here.
He always has his streaming PC on downstairs, and he left the tab
Yep.
open with Roll20. So
That's
he's
so
just
funny.
constantly
He's been on there
in
for
the
like 3
Roll20. Yeah, yeah.
He's trying for that achievement. How many hours of
Mhm.
Roll20 have you played?
600.
Oh, it was like, whose Strahd icon is that?
It is I.
Oh,
Are you there?
terrifying.
Kinda. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna try to get
Oh.
things figured out.
Echo.
That
Yeah,
was
I
my
know.
bad.
Disembodied voice.
I did not have her muted on Roll20.
Ah.
Yeah, that'll do
You
it.
can mute them on Roll20? How do you do that?
You can't. She also just has to edit. I think I found out what your problem is, Cameron.
Well, there's your problem. Let's see. Oh man, we could get more chat members.
Cameron, I've discovered what your issues are. Come back, please. Let me tell you your issues. Let me tell you your problems, Cameron.
I just like watching their confused expression on Roll20.
I can't. I need to get the chat up on my phone. I need to know what these wonderful folks are saying. Sorry for the late start, everybody. We are doing our best.
Oh, no problem. I'll tell you what they're saying in chat.
Just read them off
give
one by
Hob-
one.
Give Hob $100. Yeah, that's right. Give Hob $100. Why has
totally.
Hob not gotten?
Always have $100.
Just post your Venmo in
Honestly,
chat.
I should have $100, but I have $23.
$23.
I'll make
There
it.
you go.
For how long?
Enough.
Ooh, doll hairs.
What?
Time Lord Life is just trying to invent a new currency. It's a crypto thing, I think.
Dollar hair? Nope.
100 Twitch dollars for Tob.
Oh, heck yeah. Wow.
That
thank
means you get +1 forward on your next roll.
Is it
Oh,
just
thank
me?
God.
Or does Time Lord's wife have like an amazing D&D stream?
She does. She did,
I'm
she did Strahd recently.
yeah, that's what I heard. It's like Bloodlines or something called that, right? Very cool stuff.
Hello.
Yeah, I'd fucking forgot.
Hey.
It was a lot of fun to look at.
Hi.
All right. Oh, great. Okay.
Hey, it's Cameron.
Cameron,
There.
I think I'm very aware of what was going wrong. When
A
you
lot.
were connected
My
in
whole life.
Roll20, I think your Roll20 was using your video and audio devices.
Yes.
Great. I love that. Love that for me.
I know exactly how to fix it if you want to try it, but we can stick with you being on the phone too.
We'll do the phone for now.
Can you turn your
We'll-
phone
So
sideways?
it's horizontal.
I sure can. Give me
Sweet.
some things to
All right, folks.
prop
So we
it
can
up.
see you in landscape and not.
I don't want to do that.
We're gonna hold on. You stay here now.
All right,
Where's my
once
fan?
Cameron gets her
Right.
camera set up, we will go live to video. Sorry for the double stinger I just threw in all y'all's faces.
I'm a big fan of Cameron's video right now.
I know.
I love
Please don't
Wow.
look at the amount of dust that is on that fan. I'm deeply embarrassed.
You've suddenly made
couldn't
me
judge.
self-conscious about the
Right?
dust amount on my fan.
You guys are telling me
Uh,
you guys don't watch your fans weekly?
I take
That's
them down. I
disgusting,
fully
though.
unscrew them, put them through the dishwasher, and take them back out and put them back up.
One by one.
Yep, one blade at a time. Yep.
If I hold
Now
my
that's thorough.
face like this all night,
Ooh.
Pat66, you
Make me
have,
look like I
sorry,
have
that
really
can't
weird
be
eyes.
true. You do not have 4,500 hours in Roll20. That absolutely cannot be true.
Are you calling him a liar?
Uh-oh. He's got a good lawyer. You can't do
There,
that.
really? Pixar didn't happen. I would love for you to
Any
link your
statements
profile.
made about the character of my client, I would like everyone to know should be treated as hearsay and is not admissible in this audience.
Oh, we get it, Mr. Lawyer.
Hashtag not legal advice. Thank you. Hashtag not legal advice.
None
hashtag
of this
not
should
good
be taken
advice either.
as legal advice. Thank you.
Yeah, nothing we say on this stream is legal. Hey!
Wait,
All right.
No, we did it.
So now that we are all
Most illegal stream on the internet.
goodly visible, we are gonna go live to video. Oh wow. Oh wow, it's real bad. Give me a second, folks. I gotta do some quick work.
Wait.
Everybody,
Watch
you're gonna
this.
get to live see me work with.
This is what technical issues look like.
This is how this app works.
It's a good app.
Oh wait, it's because I'm not full screen.
Tomorrow.
Ah, I'm the fool. I'm the knave. There we go. Oh my gosh. Okay, Chandler's a little bit off. It's always
Oh,
Chandler.
the humanity.
Why is it always
Hey,
Chandler?
it's cars. How fun.
All right, folks.
BTS.
How's it going, y'all?
You
We all
know.
having a good week so far?
Yeah.
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 What day is it?
It's 6
Tuesday.
day.
Thanks.
Something.
Sunday.
Thank God.
It's
Hi,
Sunday.
everyone. Welcome to Monster of the Week. And the chaos that is this stream every single time we do it. Oh my gosh. All right, let's get into the regular stuff that we do. Hi folks, welcome to Blue Box. It's Sunday. It's fun day. We're going to have some fun. We'll go until 6 if we have to, but it's probably going to be closer to 5:45. We'll see. But let's quickly do some introductions. You know me. I'm Thomas. You normally see me on this block of the week. But on a different stream called Rune Lords, where I play Alcott. I have a lot of fun. Hopefully we're not all gonna die in a kraken's mouth. But I guess I'm gonna have to wait 2 more weeks to figure that out. Because life gets
Get the
busy.
Kraken on that.
Speaking of Rune Lords, Evelyn, what's going on? Who are you?
Hey, yeah, I'm Evelyn, and I am regularly here on Blue Box, as I am the partner here on BlueBoxRPG. I am also a prop maker, and I can be found on Monday nights over on Machiki D's channel playing Extinction Curse, which is a Pathfinder 2e campaign. We are currently Schrodinger's party during Rune Lords. We don't know if we are both alive and dead at the same time right now. But yes. So yeah, and then on here, on Monster of the Week, I play Raven. She's a halfling. She's a werewolf. She's the best. I love her.
She's pretty great. Also, I realized something, Evelyn. I don't know.
Yes.
I honest to God don't remember the racial move that I gave halflings.
That I disappear into a crowds.
Ah, yes. Okay.
Yes.
Hasn't been all
into
that
the
useful
crowd.
yet, but
Yeah, we haven't been around many crowds.
I considered giving halflings like 1 extra luck than all other races, just because the naturally lucky thing. But that feels really powerful. So
Yeah, especially in this
setting, yeah.
setting where the luck actually is luck.
Yeah. So
It's not just
the other
re-roll and
Rune
die.
Lords person on the stream, Mr. Grantler.
Yes. Hello, I'm Chandler. I played Markov before he begun the process of being eaten by a kraken for 2 weeks. So
Alcott
Asterisk
stopped
on
it just in the nick of time.
we'll
I
see
promise.
how
I
that
promise.
works.
I promise. I promise.
But yeah, I'm a cast member on Rune Lords on Sundays, and that's a whole lot of fun. As for other projects, don't really have any, but you're welcome to follow me on Chandler_Son of Peter on Instagram.
I mean, there's some pretty awesome mini painting you do on there. Don't undercut yourself,
I do
my
some
man.
mini painting. We've been trying out photography. It's just a nice, fun time. I do some volunteering with youth leadership development and youth civics and stuff. Promote your local YMCA chapter for that.
It's just an
That's my
all-around
promotion.
nerd.
Yes.
All right, let's move on to Pat Draws.
Oh, hey. Hi, I'm Pat Draws. I'm old, I'm tired, and I play the professional.
Keep it simple. We
You
love
know
it.
what? For now, I will actually accept
Accurate.
that at this point. All right. Hob,
Yeah.
introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's me. It's Hob, your boy. I play Dakota, I think I always forget how to say her last name properly. Askew, right? Or
Yeah,
Askew?
Askew.
Askew. Okay, Askew. Okay, cool. Dakota
Askew?
Achu.
Mhm.
Um, she is a very tall, very tan. Looks nothing like this. What else? She is very spiritual and a mama's girl. Very close to her mom. I'm trying to remember what is it? No, that's her mom's name. What's the name of her?
The organization. It
Yeah,
is
I
on
keep
your
forgetting
character
it.
sheet on the far
I'm
left,
looking at it right now.
but it's called Bia Alita, which stands. It
Okay, yes, I was
means
looking at the right thing.
stone crows in the Crow Native American language. So
Yes. Originally formed by Buffalo Bill, which is like
mentor.
her spiritual best friend.
Yeah.
No, more than that.
Spirit meme.
They hang out.
Spirit buddies.
Exactly.
TM.
But yeah,
That's
bigger older sister of the group.
yeah, for sure. At this point, yeah. I
This
don't know
would
who
be
I don't know
the,
who else would be at this
dead
point.
best friend.
And then the least big sister of the group, Val or Cameron.
Hello. Yeah, I play Val here now. Val's just a regular lass. No frills, nothing special. Just normal. I got
Just-
a golf club. That's all I
Got a
got.
groovy
Just
car.
like I like my women. Normal.
Normal. That is fully untrue. But yeah.
But nonetheless, a great member of the party and brings some good energy that was needed. And is technically an XP farm for all the other characters. Which is really good. So, why don't we get into it? So, it's been a weird few weeks for you hunters. Some local, some not. Some brought by destiny, some by luck. Who's to say they aren't one and the same, but altogether here nonetheless. It wasn't 2 weeks ago that you felled a monstrous digging monster called a bullet, preventing it from mating and spreading throughout Yellowstone. You then laid low for a while, after nearly burning down the forest, and heard story of a young boy killed in an odd-looking mansion to the west. After some more digging, of a different sort, you spoke with a local elder hunter and their mentor, the ghost of Buffalo Bill Cody, and you determined the source of the murder. After speaking with Mr. Smith, you assisted him in finishing his house, which in some form or fashion has created an anti-divination sphere around Yellowstone, supposedly protecting it by the will of some being that exists beneath it. It was at the discovery of this that a fog rolled into town, and your old friend Val showed up just in time to be attacked by a posse of mephits. You dealt with the elemental thieves and made your way to Domenico's Diner, Mary's favorite place to eat, and did some discussion and research. Some of you split to speak with others, learning that mephits very rarely exist without a master, usually a fire or water elemental. Dakota then discovered a name connected to the ancient Netherese wizards who fathered the organization she is a member of, before they were wiped out by an ancient cataclysm. Socorus, it was a name Kateri, your mother, heard repeated one day. She felt its presence deep below Yellowstone, somehow connected to Old Faithful. Could this be your target? She also secured some spelunking equipment for the dangerous air and water below a geyser, and in a last-ditch effort to secure more information, Mary took a leap of faith on her net friends to secure a false identity, and they came through. So, Mary, you now stand before two Tabaxi women in the Cody Regional Health Hospital, which I will swap us over to. One with severe scalding wounds across upper chest and abdomen, and the other, much tinier than you, with a bandage across her face and a smile, looking up at you asking, "Who are you?" And you are in this closed room. The nurse recently kind of politely bowed, acknowledging your family-ship in this regard, and closed the door to give you guys some privacy.
Yes, hello. I'm sorry. I spoke with the admins to come and see you. I am a representative of the National Park System of the U.S. I heard you all were injured at one of our sites, and because safety is our number one priority, I wanted to get an account. I understand that you are recovering, and that you're safe now. So if you're able, it'd be really good to get a testimony. You may be entitled to some financial compensation as well.
Um,
Kind of
her
representative
ears
tells
kind
her they
of
got
perk
money.
up when you say financial compensation, but at the same time she looks confused. The mom, I mean, the kid is just kind of enamored by you, but the mom looks at you and says, "Your National Park Service," and looks at your Hawaiian T-shirt and gunner glasses, and cargo pants, and just sort of gives a head turn at you. Can you show me some sort of identification to prove that? No
I
offense.
will.
I'm totally down for financial compensation if that's why you've come here. And she sort of, sorry, it still kind of hurts.
Yeah, absolutely. Can I roll a manipulate
She
somebody?
tries to lean up, but
Oh, please. No, no, no. You don't have to
yeah.
readjust.
I will give you the ability to roll to manipulate someone. I will give you -1 because you just don't have identification that leads you to be
Oh,
a park service
absolutely.
member. Um,
Oh,
So, and just
absolutely.
as a reminder
I
for
have
all
this
you
very
people
cool fake
in the
ID.
chat, you can donate bits to give +1 forward to players. Hob already has one from earlier.
So it's a shame you gave me +1 because I was at 10, which is just a success, and now it's a mixed success.
Oh, you've got that -1
Yeah,
brought you
so when
down
she,
to a 9.
yeah, when she tries to get, I'm like, no, 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 please, you don't have to. Stay comfortable. That's the most important thing here, okay?
She says, what kind of information are you look? Can you show me some sort of identification?
To be honest, I'm sorry. I left it back at the office. As soon as I had heard that you all had been admitted, I got in the car. Hopefully, you can understand. Um, Maybe you'd still be willing to cooperate with me. In the meantime, I can, if you'd prefer to wait until we can get signatures when I get my ID. But if we can maybe get some testimony, I can know if it's worth it to come back to file your case and potentially get that financial compensation.
Well, I mean, I'd hope it's worth it for you to come back. Look at the condition me and my daughter are in at your park.
Speaking of, what condition are they in? How would you describe their?
She has. It's hard to tell on them both because they mostly have gauze pads covering the majority of their wounds. But the mother has sort of a large pad over her chest area, which you can see kind of around the gown that is covering her. And the daughter has a bandage that's covering her left eye and kind of the major part of her face on the left side. And the mother also has some other smaller pads that go down her arm.
Okay. Then I'll say, oh, yeah, I certainly see that, ma'am. I was there no railing around Old Faithful? How did this happen?
They,
I'm really concerned.
you don't know the safety procedures of your own park? I'm beginning to get
No, no,
concerned
I
myself.
understand. I'm asking, was there some deviation from what we have set up? How did this happen?
Listen, it's she ran in. It was a foggy morning. We were coming through, making our way home to Texas, right? And from seeing some family in California, and I wanted to stop and let Mia see something fun because we may never make our way back here. We don't get a lot of chances to get out of the house. And it just happened to be a foggy morning. I got really sad, but I still wanted her to get a chance to see Old Faithful because you don't get to see that very often. And we were waiting and waiting, and the fog never went away. And Mia just ran in. There's no railing around the visibility platform. It's all at level with the geyser. Just obviously you're not supposed to go up there. There's plenty of signage, but she's tiny and didn't know, and I was a little distracted trying to find gaps in the fog and the crowd to get her a view. And she ran in. And Mia says, I heard laughter. Someone told me to come in and play.
Oh, I'm gonna kneel down, taking out a piece of receipt paper from my pocket and a pin from my, the pocket of my Hawaiian shirt, and writing down, scrawling notes. pretending to look legit. Who did you get? Somebody told you to play in the geyser? Certainly, nothing can. Obviously you got hurt in there. How was there anything else in there?
The mother kind of says, "Mia, come here, and she goes, "Listen, unless you can show me some ID of some kind, I don't necessarily want to give you any more information about what happened. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable."
That's on me. I got so excited. I'm gonna go back to the office. I'm gonna grab it, and then we'll be able to continue the testimony, and we'll be able to get that all filed away for you. Does that sound better?
It would be honestly amazing.
Great, thank you. I'll be sure to contact you very soon. Thank you. Have a great day.
Thanks.
And I'm gonna slink out of the room, carefully close the door, and then fast walk to the hospital.
Just like both hands up.
Yeah. Heel toe.
Yeah, I'm gonna immediately walk over and start talking to just the group in general as I walk through you, trying to motion let's go.
Yeah, you see Mary just burst out of the doors that lead into the waiting room and just sort of grabs one of you by the collar and starts moving out the exit door.
Great, I got a little bit of information. I have to go back to the office in order to get the rest of my ID.
The rest?
Yes, of course, Dakota. We left in a hurry. Now let's get out of here.
Yeah,
we can talk in the car.
Of course.
Yeah.
I'm just chuckling behind my.
Yeah, we all are.
I'm like holding a cup of coffee that they offered me in the waiting room, and I'm like, okay, let's get out of here. Still trying to put cream and sugar in it.
Dakota's like, I'm keeping this magazine.
As we're heading toward the car, I'm toward the back of the group, going let me guess, they wanted some form of identification.
No, people seem so distrustful nowadays. They don't just take a woman at her word.
Coming from Mary, that's the
that.
funniest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Listen, Mary, to be fair, you don't really look like the professional to be walking in and taking notes and asking questions.
Well, just because it's true doesn't mean it's any less hurtful, okay?
I think we're that conversation now.
Mommy, what did the
I pat her on the back, and I'm like, you did your best.
Well, thank you. I did find some things out. Number one, the child, who was very cooperative, by the way. Empathy is gained at a young age and lost somewhere in teenager times. And let me tell you, she shared...
Hormones.
Hormones it must be. Thank you very much, Mr. Suit.
When
The
you
point
hit
being-
puberty, you'll experience it.
Yes. Wait. I resent that statement. I'm going to move on. The point here being is that she heard laughing in the geyser. If there was laughing in the geyser, that means that there was some entity in the geyser that's trying to lure kids in. Could be more steam methods. Could be something worse.
Oh,
Well, we did hear laughter when we were in the fog.
We certainly did, and that was a foggy day, the day they went to Old Faithful.
It was actually the same day. All those things occurred yesterday.
By
would be a
foggy day,
possibility.
I meant
Very
Yes.
recently.
this morning.
Well, it was yesterday. It was yesterday.
And-
your
Okay.
keen eye of detail.
Mary, you're working way too hard.
That's Mary. Not even one thing. Nothing.
But I
I
think,
haven't slept in 48 hours. Okay.
that would
I
explain
hand
a
Mary
lot.
my coffee.
Not good for you.
Your hospital coffee that's just really, really atrocious.
Water down here.
The one with the machine that you pull down, and it's just mostly water.
Yeah, it's got
It's made
brown
from a-
food
From a
coloring in
single
it.
bean.
Yeah.
There's also 4 packs of sugar in it, solidly.
Oh, gosh.
It's
Would I-
bad.
Would I know of anything else other than these fog imps?
Here, actually, I realized last
Methods.
week I didn't get to show you guys what you saw. This is what a
Aw.
We saw it
steam
on the
method
meme.
looks like.
Little.
That long,
Hello,
pointed
guy.
nose. Yes.
And they're normally carrying a Glock, apparently.
Yeah, I don't think that's exactly what it looks like.
The worst thing you can
One
do is give him
gun.
a gun.
But you are not immediately aware of much else that could
Yeah.
be. Mostly because it's elemental in nature, and if it wasn't, you would say, well, it might just be an imp or a goblin or something similar. But
This is
because
definitely-
they were made of fog, you're having a hard time coming up with anything else.
Most of the world catastrophes are caused by mephits, would you believe it? I lost many pairs of, well, not pairs, singular socks from mephits.
You know
I'm
what?
certain of it.
Mephits?
I do believe that.
Goblins.
Yes.
Sock goblin.
A goblin would sell his
Soblins.
own brother if it meant that he could make $1.
They will do that too. I've watched them do it.
Don't trust
Very
him.
sad.
And
I have a hard
Val's
time
just
believing
there
there'd
like,
be anything else.
Just doing mental calculus, being like, is that where our missing stuff go? Like, trying to parse out, like, is this sarcasm? Is this just the new reality that I live in? And so I think
He
it's
gave
just
his
kind of
sock to his
decided.
house elf, and now elf is free.
She's like, yeah, that makes sense. Sure, yeah.
checks out.
Yeah. Yeah,
I
yeah,
mean-
yeah.
When you think about these sorts of elementals, they crave chaos and destruction, and it wouldn't be far off that they would want to cause harm to a little girl and her mother. So that'd be my
I
guess.
kind of walk up
Agree.
to Val and nudge her on the side and get her attention. And I point over at Mary when she's not looking and do that.
I think Val kind of gives a half-hearted nod of like still trying to like everything seems crazy to her. So this isn't more or less than. She's just kind of like, maybe we'll see.
Sure.
You're in that
Yeah.
improv actor phase of just yes and move on.
Yeah, that's
This is totally
That's what-
normal. Totally normal. Yeah.
well,
I'm
and
good.
it's like, I think on one hand, Val's hearing all this stuff about like steam methods and like chaos goblins and all this stuff, and then like Mary will say something fully unhinged, and she's like, "That's about equal.
Yeah.
That's about the same thing." So it's like, yeah, sure.
All right. So
Kinda
as a
like-
reminder,
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
yeah, pretty much. Hob, you were able to speak with a man named Greg O'Connell who said that he is waiting at Old Faithful somewhere. He didn't really mention where. With some equipment to do some spelunking.
Yeah,
Where?
not entirely sure if they have enough suits that'll fit everybody. Looks
Yeah.
at Mary and then also looks at looks at her little werewolf.
Looks up and looks down. We'll see.
The biggest and the smallest. Like, all right.
So where are you guys headed?
Well, do we need any more information? Do you actually need to go back to the office, or do you guys wanna go
He
cave
doesn't have an
diving?
office.
You actually asked, do I want to go back to my office?
He doesn't have an office.
Yeah,
just
I don't. I think you didn't catch what I was laying down. I
what were you laying
am
down?
a bum. I do not have an office. I have a prefab home, but there is some stuff there that we can get. I bought a heat gun from the local generic hardware store, and I also brought some floodlights.
Dakota.
Just a
He's
question.
a giant female Shaggy.
Yeah.
What purpose would the heat gun serve against steam methods?
I was just about to ask that.
See,
actually.
I was thinking more on the water side of things.
But then we're just making more steam. That seems like a really bad idea.
Okay,
But you
all
would
right.
use
Yeah.
an electric
The light, though.
gun against
The
a
floodlight.
water elemental.
You know,
The,
when you get out of the shower and your mirror's
Yeah.
fogged up, right? There's steam
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you take your hair dryer, you use it on the glass, and it defogs it.
Yeah,
like, really
'cause you're
close
warming
up.
up the glass, but it's
Yeah.
not. It's not affecting the actual water.
I will not use it, but I will bring it in case we do meet anything else.
Fogged
So-
up
that
mirror.
is
That's a
So-
try space for it. Throw it on in.
I do
Are
have
you
a
gonna
question.
Need, like,
Is this
We could get
this
wet.
has to be a battery powered device, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Please
Otherwise,
tell
we're
me.
running a whole lot of extension cords.
Okay, my second point is a heat gun that is battery powered does not last very long. Because it has to
Also-
make a lot of power.
Not
With
to
all that
mention the
heat-
fact that you're not going to get the method to stand still long enough for you to blow him dry.
To even make a difference, really.
Just,
Other than
please
getting
stop
really
moving.
excited.
I asked the
Come here,
attendant
little
at the
muffin.
hardware store after asking him several personal questions about his background. What was the best value heat gun he had? And he sighed and said, "I don't know, this one, I guess." So I feel pretty confident.
Great, I'm
At
into
this
it.
point,
I'm glad for
Dakota
you.
looks at
That's
looks at
good.
Val and is like, "We should probably get everybody in the car, shouldn't we?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Val's
Looks
already,
down,
like,
looks down at
unlocking
Raven,
the
and is
car.
just like, points over kind of at Mary, like, "Do you wanna like wherever, and we'll go." As like she holds the door open for everybody else.
She's
Yeah.
she's had a little too much caffeine. She's starting to get the shakes.
Just kind of horrified when Val gave her the coffee. But
We
I
can go
thought
to
it would
Arby's
be
and
nice.
get
I'm
shit.
not
No.
realizing the folly of
as
my
everyone's
ways.
leaving, as everyone's walking out the door, "No, we are not going to Arby's." As like the door closes behind all of us.
Hob, I want to give you another +1
With
just
the
for
card
saying
Arby's.
that. Oh my gosh. I won't because you already have one. But keep in mind, you're on my good side.
Aw.
You're on my good side. And just remember, I did say after Kateri did that plea for guidance, the prayer with Mistra, you do technically have +1 until you get to the geyser. Anything you need to do that gets you to that point, you are guided in that way. So, yeah, you're kind
Guided
of
by like spirits.
something. You're not sure, but you feel
Guided
like
by your
that's
mom.
where you need to go, and that something is pushing you to get there.
Is there anything that isn't the geyser? That I'm like, I gotta go there
No.
before we get to the geyser?
No, not that you can tell.
Okay, cool.
Getting
Yeah,
to
geyser.
getting to Old Faithful is kind of your next thing. So,
All
That's
right,
what I thought.
let's do it.
yes, just so you guys are aware, that's not a short trip.
No.
It's gonna take
This is
nearly
not-
3 hours to get there.
Huh.
All right.
Yellowstone
We should
is
probably get
not
some
a
snacks.
small park at all.
Listen, if an injured child can ride an ambulance 3 hours back screaming, then we can ride there screaming. I mean, we can ride there.
I'm like driving, like looking backwards, not super paying attention, and I'm like, why would you be screaming?
Val,
Um,
Val.
Sorry.
I also like Mary's just not understanding of how first aid and ambulances and all of that works, like, at all.
They just put you in a
Everything in
box
general
and they
works.
don't look at you until you get to the hospital.
The healthcare industry is just a mess. Okay, they use it to disappear people. So
Dakota
I
rolls
never
down
go
window
to
to like to bring in the wind, so it's like she can't hear the
Just being
conspiracy.
censored, yeah.
She's just like.
I like it.
Is that I think Val's like nodding her head to the first part of that statement, and then the nod just becomes like a head shake where it's like, yeah, the healthcare system is a little, oh no, this is going in a
Oh
different.
my god.
Nope.
You know, you were onto something.
Yep.
Who's DJing, if I might ask?
Oh yeah. We got the
I-
Bluetooth speaker. It's got like 60% battery, I'm sure.
I'm still down for Raven.
Raven.
Raven's
Yeah.
got good tunes.
I like the idea of Raven sitting directly next to Val on like the bench seat and just like there with like a phone that's the size of her whole head. Just like
Oh my god.
She has
I
the,
love
the Z Flip or whatever, the one that folds open like a book, yeah.
exactly. Scale. Perfect.
So
Oh,
like
man.
I said, this is nearly a 3-hour drive. Do you guys stop anywhere to check out some fun sights in Yellowstone? What do you do on the way? Or are you guys just kind of going straight to Old Faithful? Like,
Yeah, there was one place I was hoping we could stop.
well, here, let me describe this. So as you guys can see, about halfway through this trip, you exit out of the mountains at one point. It's about, I would say, probably an hour and a half into your trip. And as you
How did
do...
you get so far away from Old Faithful?
What do you mean? Cody, Wyoming is not at all close to Old Faithful. It is very, very far away. Yellowstone's massive. It's like a
Yeah.
fifth of the state of Wyoming. It is very big.
I don't know. They're
And
always
it,
all
and
on
it
the same
occupies
postcard.
multiple states.
They
too.
they
It's
are
not
in the
just
same.
Wyoming.
You always think like Yellowstone and Old Faithful are in the same postcard, Cody and all that, but it's like wow, they're really far away from each other.
If you think about it, this kid got a really good deal on a 3-hour trip back to the hospital.
Yeah, pretty much.
So,
Although really good deal, probably paid a heck of a lot for it. We won't talk about the American healthcare system here on this. stream.
don't get Mary started.
Anyways,
Healthcare
you
system.
guys
This is
at
very
one
distinct.
point enter into a very, very long tunnel that has these occasional openings on the side. You're basically in the side of a mountain, just the cliff face was too sheer to put a road there. And as it exits, it just, like, your vision comes back to you like exiting a movie theater after a long movie, and the light kind of fills the volume of your vision until it dims, and you see this gorgeous, long, open valley that leads down into rivers that lead into... Far in the distance, you can see this massive lake, and you just see, on one side of a hill, just a herd of at least 60 buffalo walking all in one big
my God.
grouping. And off to your
Buffalo or
left, you
bison?
see some... Same thing. You see some elk jumping over some logs to your left, and birds flying overhead. You see a circling of vultures far off in the distance. It
Again,
is
vultures.
idyllic. It is gorgeous out here.
Mary, looking out, almost dead-eyed at the buffalo passing by, is going to say, "Buffaloes are the best listeners. You always feel heard after talking to them."
I push Mary out of the car. I heard that once.
Lovely.
As she
We're
goes
suddenly
bouncing
going
off.
faster.
Oh,
I think Val would like
okay,
fully
Val,
slow
you're
to like a
saying-
crawl of 25 miles an hour, like just kind of like, wow, this is nice. Just kind of
Okay.
take it all
I
in.
have a question.
Yes.
You said this is like a 3-hour drive. Is
Yes.
there any chance I can try to get in touch with the agency and find more
Absolutely.
information on these methods and their leader type things and things we should look for?
I don't see
Intel-wise,
why
you
not,
know.
but I'm not sure how much more information you're going to gain than what you already have. But you can try. So roll to deal with the agency, and
Gotta
we
get a
shall
learning
see.
Experience.
I can't do
It's a learning experience, could be.
I'm a hands-on learner, dog. I'm cool. I'm good with this.
You know, I am so about not explaining what the buffalo comment was at all.
No, yeah, I'm really into that.
That's-
No one says anything about it.
I think Val would just be like, huh, yeah, I could imagine that. Like, I don't know how you got close enough to one to talk to it, but that seems
That's
like
what
a use
Dakota's
case.
wondering. I
So-
was like, how the hell?
I stayed. The reason this is set in Yellowstone is because it's one of my favorite places on Earth. I actually camped there one time. We stayed there for about a week, and
Oh,
we
lucky.
were in an RV or a camper, and a buffalo came through our campsite and got like 10 feet away from me. It was like the scariest, most serene thing that ever happened. It was just this massive. They are so big, like golly. All right, Pat, what'd you roll?
Roll an 8.
Rolled an 8. You gain
no
as
sharp,
much
so-
information as you already had about methods between what everyone else learned and what you might have already known. They don't have necessarily any innate weaknesses, you might say. Allow me to double check my notes to ensure I give you the correct information.
While you're double checking your notes, I'm gonna pause this for just a brief second. Thank you, Lawful Stupid, for the raid.
Oh,
They came in
hey!
with a bunch. So
Wow, big old
yeah,
raid. Thank you guys. Yay! We're gonna fight some sort of big elemental bad boy and learn secret things about the world. So tune in. It's gonna be a lot of fun, I promise. This chaos party is making their way through Yellowstone, and it is absolutely gorgeous.
Cool road trip.
You know that mephits are... Okay, I will actually tell you this. Immune to fire damage and weak to cold damage.
So your heat gun's useless.
It's a good thing the heat gun doesn't shoot fire.
But
Don't suppose you got a cold gun.
they do not have any resistances to regular damage. Like shooting them with a gun or stabbing them with a knife does do the same thing that a magic knife or a magic gun would do.
So they're just as prone to stupid theories?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, cool. Just start
Mar-
talking to him, Mary. While
Mary
we're
should be able
confused,
to
we'll take
cause
him out.
like
Yeah.
Mary should be able to cause like psychic damage.
Yeah, for
with
sure.
her.
Hey, if
Don't I do that always?
if
Like,
you
it's just a passive AoE?
if you take the move that the Spellslinger has, I might give you the ability to just like be a bard and speak death upon your enemies.
No, don't do that. Don't do that to us.
That'd be really funny.
Very need that kind of power.
That'd be really funny. So you guys mosey your way through the park. It's a quieter day. It's starting to get later in the year, so it's not incredibly touristy, but it's still there. And this low-lying mist sort of exists as a whole throughout the park. It's been there. It cleared up in Cody from yesterday, but as you get further and further into the park, this fog starts to overtake the majority of the area around the lake. And eventually, you make your way to Old Faithful Inn. This, like, nearly 5-story, yes.
So,
Yeah.
there was a mountaintop. You said that there were birds, like
Birds.
Vultures.
on our way through. Do I notice the birds still around that mountaintop?
So the mountainous area of Yellowstone that you saw that in was outside of the valley that you're in right now. It was before you would have gotten into Yellowstone. I can have you, if you want to, retroactively give me a plus sharp roll to see.
Oh, okay. Sounds good.
Because that's something I gave you. Oh, wait, don't you also have a start of mystery roll that you need to be making? Or is that start of session? Did we already do the start of mystery?
That's start
thing?
of mystery, which I interpret that as not... That we've used that already.
Aren't you still holding one of those questions, though?
Yep.
I had one too.
Oh, sweet. All right. Yeah, I can't keep track of all y'all's holds that you have, so you let me know, but...
And
Yeah, I
on
still have
the-
one from investigation.
Okay, sweet.
I didn't realize that
mount.
was a thing I could do.
Yeah, so
at all.
any move that says hold 3 or hold 1, you don't have to use them instantly. So, like, investigate a
No.
mystery and all that stuff. What?
So,
Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha.
I
There's
got...
no place on the sheet for us to mark holds, though.
Yeah, it might just have to
There's
mark
a
it
little
somewhere
box in the like right below
for notes.
each of the things. You can put it because I have one marked on mine now.
So as to not derail us much further, I got a 10 when I was retroactively paying attention to the birds around that mountain.
Yes, you see the vultures are circling around that mountain again. You're not exactly
Okay.
sure why, but that it's you're not exactly sure which peak it is. But you know that within the same general vicinity of where you saw them 2 weeks ago, there are...
And if there was something dead, they would have picked it clean already.
in theory, I mean, not that there's not always something dead somewhere in the woods, but it's a good thought. And so you make your way to Old Faithful Inn with this. It's a lean-to style log cabin. That roof peak goes almost all the way down to the ground. And like I said, it's nearly 5 stories tall, it looks like. It is made of this raw wood look. It is very, very big and long and has lots and lots of rooms. And anybody who's been in Yellowstone knows exactly what this place is. It is the most famous building in the entire park. Has a really, really good diner in it. Just for the record.
Arby's?
Great food. It's not an Arby's, and I swear, Pat.
Dakota turns her in her seat and looks at him, just like, "Where do you think you are?"
Everything is an Arby's all the time.
Everything's all right.
It's all Arby's all the way down.
And you guys know that the park rangers have a information station here within the building, and you also see outside a truck with the words, "Oh, this is good," plastered on the side of it. "Daring Geyser Adventures," and it's like a white van, like the classic like wall.
No windows.
Yeah. Panel van.
Oh wow.
But the Daring Geyser Adventures is sun faded and chipping in spots.
That's how you know it's good.
Yep, and
I'm
all
gonna
of the
share
windows
that.
are blacked out.
Yeah.
Oh,
Daring
very
indeed.
cool. That's how you know it's legit.
But it does have one of those like roof racks on top, and there's lots and lots of just loose rope that's tied to it.
They're not like giving out candy to small children.
No, as far as you can tell, they're not actively giving out candy to small children.
That vehicle with a bunch of rope.
So,
Very legit.
where do you guys go? Do you head in to talk with the park rangers? Do you walk up to this van? What's going on?
I'm definitely going inside, so whoever follows for that.
Yeah.
Sweet.
I think it's a nap.
With Tickle.
I'm gonna sleep.
I am gonna take a peek, see at that van.
All right, and Pat, where are you headed?
I'm gonna take a nap in the back. No,
As
I'm
boring
going
as
inside
possible.
Toss him the
'cause
keys.
I'm not interested in daring adventures. So
Sweet. So the four party members that head into the inn, you guys see this incredibly tall vaulted ceiling that leads up to this small little balcony, and the people who were here for the Smith Mansion mystery might remember a story about a woman who was killed and had her head left over in that balcony up there. That's the Crow's Nest, which is where bands used to play way back in the day and still occasionally do. And there's a ghost story that is told about her holding her head under her arm and making her way to her room where she was killed. This all happened here in the inn. And not that long ago, you heard that story. And you make your way to the ranger station. It's a nice little desk with lots and lots of pamphlets on a plastic stand-up. A couple of them are park maps and hiking trail maps and stuff to do
there's
in
a
Cody.
ranger station in the inn.
Yeah,
I'm
there
taking
is. There's
every
a
map I can and just putting it into like my fanny pack and like
fantastic.
like just looking around, seeing if anyone's like watching me do that.
Behind the
I'll
desk.
just watch them a smile.
Yeah, you do see a good grouping of families. There was a large bus outside that has a tourist group coming through of all turtle people just slowly walking in. They look kind of old and haggard, but they're enjoying it.
Racist.
And
That's very good.
What?
and you see this very fit-looking brass dragonborn standing behind the desk. She stands at 7 feet tall and has these long horns that curl up to the top. And she's wearing her park ranger outfit and a hat that has horn holes in the back of it. And she stands there. She's stamping someone's park passport. And that gives them some information and kindly nods at them as they walk away. And you guys are next in line as she greets you. Hello, and welcome to Old Faithful Inn.
Hi.
Hi!
Thanks for the welcome. What's that thing you just stamped for them?
Oh, that's a national park passport. It's for those that want to see all the national parks. I've personally made my way to 130 of them. I'm only missing the last 14.
Dang!
Yeah.
That's incredible.
American Samoa is hard to get out to, but I hope to get there soon.
I feel that. That's awesome.
What can I do you for today?
Oh man, I don't know. I'm just kind of looking around right now. What's been going on in the park? I feel like I heard something in the news like a few days ago. Is everything still open? Is there like
You see her kind
Stuff I should
of
be
roll
worried
her
about?
eyes when you ask that, and she kind of looks around at all the other people. Yes, there was a minor event, but unfortunately, the volcanic activity of Yellowstone does lead to the occasional injury and burn. There's plenty of signage that should make it pretty clear where you're allowed and not allowed to go. If you ever have any questions regarding where you're allowed and not allowed to go, please come
Is
to a park
Old
ranger
Faithful
first.
still open to the public?
I mean, Old
Access is
Faithful
still
runs
available?
like a clock. We can't stop it, and you can see it straight out the window. Well, if the fog weren't in the way, yes, we have kept access to that open. We did put up some police line taping just to ensure people know not to go in, especially with the fog. It can make it a little difficult to see what the paths are. But yes, the
Plastic
Old
tape
Faithful
is
has
highly
absolutely.
effective.
Well,
Does-
thank you.
Does this desk have the stairs up to it like the sheriff's station desk did for?
Yes, it
halflings?
does have a
Like-
two-step that leads up to the desk.
Okay, so yeah, Raven like climbed up that just so she could kind of see as the conversation's going on.
And there is, you guys can see the table itself is a glass top that underneath the top of the glass is a 3D topographical map of the Yellowstone area around you, and there's a couple of pins and labels, and she looks down at Yellowstone and says, there's almost a full 180-degree viewing platform of concrete that we laid around the majority of Old Faithful. I believe it'll be going off in the next 5 to 16 minutes.
How often does it go off? I'm not familiar with the geyser.
So that depends. It has an offset cycle, but it is extremely predictable. If it goes off on a 40 to 60 minute timer, it'll usually be 70 to 110 minutes before the next one goes off.
Okay.
And that's just, they tend to rock back and forth, one to the other.
So which cycle will be going off next?
We're about to see the long cycle.
So after this one, guy,
It'll be the short one.
It'll be over 100 minutes before the next
Yes, and in fact, you guys seem interested. Let me give you some fun facts about the geyser. So,
one. Yes, we have a current party member who likes being
Arms
blowhard.
on the counter and is like,
We all kind of lean in,
she pulls up a laminated, booklet that's ring bound on the corner, and it was obviously made on PowerPoint and is but still really good, and it shows some pictures. So the geyser has a average height of 106 to 185 feet. You will be able to see it over the fog, I guarantee it. And it can shoot 3,700 to 8,400 gallons of water out over the duration of 5 to 6 minutes. It is
wild.
it's
How hot
wild.
is it?
Temperatures outside of the geyser can reach 200 to 300 degrees Fahrenheit, so it does not surprise me that the two people who were unfortunately injured yesterday did get some burns. Inside the geyser, however, we can look at temperatures of 300 to 400 degrees.
What about under it?
That depends. Deeper temperatures near the magma pool that heats and creates the geyser, 600 to 700 degrees in that water. But
How far
Where
down
is,
is
like-
this magma pool?
Yeah,
Have you
I think
found
I'd
out
like
yet?
point at the
we've
topographical
done
map.
plenty of seismology, and she pulls up a picture that shows a cross section of the geyser. If you're looking to go all the way down to the base of the geyser, that is 700 feet down. It's yes, it is. It's quite the big cavern system. But the unique thing that makes Old Faithful so predictable is that it does not connect to a single other cave system on the upper geyser basin, which means it acts on its own. Any water that goes into Old Faithful is the water that comes back out of Old Faithful. So its heating and cooling is very predictable.
Wow.
So like a heat gun, for example, probably wouldn't work anywhere near it or under it. I'm assuming. Battery powered.
There are cooler pockets. Why? That's a very interesting question.
It's nothing. I was just answering a question for an eccentric friend of mine.
Interesting. Yes. So to answer your question, actually, there are air pockets, plenty of air pockets and open caverns that exist. There isn't water always filling the geyser.
Can you,
However,
go?
we
down
have
there?
made a couple of trips down into the geyser. We've never made our way all the way down. It is dangerous, especially when you only have about a 70-minute max window of safe time to get down there. There were some safe pockets that were discovered, although for health reasons and risk, we don't send anyone down into the geyser anymore. We know enough about it that it is off limits to get inside of. We want to preserve the park as much as possible rather than discover how it works. Now, not to say that I don't have theories and dreams of getting down in there and seeing what it's like, but it is dangerous, and I would never do that. And she kind of gives you a wink.
You've never tried to run a
Back at her.
surveillance
Like
system down there?
immediately, I'm like, yeah.
Not in a while. We haven't ran tests down into the geyser in nearly 3 decades.
The technology has advanced so much.
Exactly. We don't need to go in the geyser anymore. We can use seismology and subsurface picturing to know exactly what it looks like down there.
So,
True.
I've heard that other than this unfortunate thing that's happened to this mother and child, has there anything like weird that's happened around the geyser itself other than that? I've heard plenty of stories of all kinds of stuff, and I'm just curious.
People have lots of stories that Yellowstone is so predictable because it's a snoring giant breathing out every breath or whatever. I've heard lots and lots of funny little stories about why Old Faithful works the way it does. Unfortunately, none of them are true, and Old Faithful is just another...
We don't
volcanically
necessarily
active
have
place.
to... Let's just say hypothetically, my eccentric friend was here, and she had asked, what are some of these theories? Like, what's like the main one that could be plausible?
None of them are. It's all just stories that kids tell. I mean, it's just a volcanically
Come on,
active
humor
area.
me. Humor me.
Unfortunately, I don't really subscribe to any of those ideas and stories. I haven't really, other than the sleeping giant one, I honestly really haven't heard many. I tend to tell people how it works, but
Not to change the subject, but acoustically speaking, that much pressure, steam pressure coming out at such a rapid speed, has the geyser ever made sounds like maybe singing or the after effects of making people think they heard voices coming from the geyser? I mean, these types of things are possible. I mean, it's just sound.
It's a good question. Normally, we do have some laughing geysers around the park that tend to make almost barking or laughing sounds like a hyena when they go off. But Old Faithful does not have that. The opening of Old Faithful is about 12 feet wide. It's not nearly narrow enough to create such sonic vibrations in the air. No.
Would those geysers be near it?
There are a couple other geysers up on the ridge over there, and she kind of points up the hill, and you can see some paths that lead up over the fog that lead to some... And you do see one of the geysers just sort of go off, and it sort of spurts a couple of times.
Are those the barking geysers?
Yes, there is one right up there.
Okay, are they behind?
They are,
the
from
main
the viewing platform, and but you don't know if they're audible from here or not. You're inside of a building, so it's hard to tell.
Well, from maybe if you're near Old Faithful, though. Probably.
Maybe. No way to tell right now, though.
That would make sense. Okay.
I like that the monster hunters are trying to come up with legit reasons why this is just BS and we shouldn't do it.
No. I'm just looking for ways. Like, what if they're over there? So
yeah. No, I mean,
she's gonna look.
Research is research. Research is research.
Yeah, she's gonna look
you
at the
said
other ones.
At some point in time, you've actually been able to go down toward.
Nearly 3 decades ago, a couple of spelunking adventures were made down inside, but they were limited in time.
So the tunnels and things leading toward the magma pool are large enough for people if they wanted to?
We were never able to make it nearly that deep. We were only able to make it about halfway down where the water pools up and then turns into steam and large pressure erupts. We did not make it down to the source pool.
You say we. Do you mean you? Did you get to do it?
No,
Okay.
Oh, I wish.
Did anyone who's still here get to go? I know that was a while ago, but it seems like a sick gig.
Now,
I would want to keep working.
That's a good question. We do have a couple workers who did make it down there. They're not here today. Their shift is normally on the back half of the week, but if you want, you could get you some contact information of some sort. Normally they like to answer questions.
Yeah. Sure.
What about crazy guy and van out front giving tours of?
You're talking about Greg. Yes, Greg has a death wish to get into the geyser and go all the way down to the magma pool, and he thinks he's allowed to do it. He's not. He's never gotten a single permit, as far as I can tell, to get anywhere near the geyser. But he likes to watch it with his suit, and she kind of points outside to a man who's wearing...
He's not allowed to go.
What is essentially a deep diver's suit from, with the glass pane window in the front. But it looks like it's made of, carbon fiber, It's like super advanced tech that he's wearing with these like really small O2 tanks that are at his hips, and he's just standing there in this suit, staring forward at the geyser. That's good old Mr. O'Connell.
Is that the guy that I know? Or...
That is the guy that you know.
Okay, cool. Dakota, as soon as like she sees him, I think she's gonna walk out. So
just please, he's all right.
Bye. Ting, ting, ting,
I'll like
ting, ting.
wave at her. I'll be like, I'm so sorry. We got to talking. What was your name again? I'm so sorry.
Let me go to my notes. My name is Caitlin Hammond.
Caitlin, nice to meet you. And
Nice
I like
to
give
meet
her
you.
my hand.
And
Val.
Val, nice to meet you. You're all good.
Yeah.
If you want, we have a
I-
guest book that you could sign. We love to know all of who came into our park just to get to know people.
Sure. I'll like just write the name Val and then like write a fun little like note about like I had such a great time in the park. Blah blah blah. Brought my family back together. Something like that. Like just mostly made up. But I'll also try to snag that information about people who have been down before, if she's willing to offer it to me.
Yeah, she'll give you a
Or
card.
like when they work next or whatever.
Yeah, she'll give you a card, and it has a contact info on it, with like a phone number for a man named William Jenkins.
Old man Jenkins. Yeah. I know him. Also just want to ask her for like could I have said that I had like a Nalgene bottle or something in my car?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Like a big water bottle. Can
Stay
I ask her to
hydrated,
fill
right?
it up with ice? Yeah, hydrate or die, baby.
She points you to an ice machine and water fountain over there.
Thanks, man. And I go and I just fill it up with ice.
Oh,
And take it out
I love Val's idea of cold damage. Is just
I only have so much I can work with.
No,
you know?
you're good.
Lesser.
I'm just a regular human.
Grounded solutions.
All right. Let's
so-
scoot actually over. Well, what? Wait. Yes.
Yeah, so Raven has now been left by Val and Dakota at the desk with Caitlin, and she's
Imagine I would have like, as we were wrapping up conversation, walked with her.
she's just gonna go,
Oh, thank you for your time. I appreciate it.
and then just kind of scurry back down the little two-step thing. And
She
follow
just sort of
after
gives you a
everyone.
nod, and let's
I
scoot
like-
on
I like the way
over
the
to.
females in the group pretend like I don't exist.
Let's scoot over to Mary and see what she is doing by Greg's car.
Yeah. Mary does not trust this car. Tinted windows, huh? Only my vehicles, if I still had my driver's license, would have tinted windows. But they won't let me have my driver's license because they know what I could do with it. Anyways.
Are you actively having a conversation with a car?
No, that would be silly.
okay.
I'm talking to myself.
Out loud, but near the car.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and peer through.
You
Obviously,
see
I doubt
a
I
family
can
in the
see-
car next to the van open their doors as you're having that conversation with yourself, and just sort of grab their kid and just busily walk away, just sort of briskly running. And then they sort of
Sorry,
slow down.
Bluetooth.
Yep. All right, what are you doing with the car?
I'm gonna look around and see if there's any other families around.
No, you're in the clear
Not
right now.
suspiciously at all, yeah.
Clear. I'm gonna take the
Not even a little
opportunity
suspicious.
to. I think it's called taking the risk or like acting under pressure.
What are you gonna do?
And I think I'm gonna try and use one of my ways to kind of get into a car door to see what's going on in this van, because
Breaking and entering.
I want to really dial down into what you just said. You want to use one of your ways to get into a car door?
yeah, of course.
Really enlighten me on what one of those ways is. I would love to know.
So one of them is I've probably got to go find it and see if it's in the car, but a door hanger you can use, or sorry, did I say a door hanger? A clothes hanger you can use to jimmy up through the window and down and fiddle with some of the mechanisms.
Now, Val has canonically said that she has like one of everything in her trunk.
Yeah.
And if Val, is your car locked, or did you leave it unlocked for Mary?
Isn't it
I
a
think the top
convertible?
was probably down.
Yeah, I was
If the
gonna
weather's
say.
okay today, the top of the car was already down anyway.
The
Yeah.
doors are locked, the
Yeah,
top
so
is
you can
down.
easily pop the
Yeah,
trunk.
because our laptop is
You,
down.
you can pop the trunk and get to a clothes hanger. You were about to make me say
I've got
door
like
hanger.
old dry cleaning in there that I like haven't taken.
Oh, for sure, for sure.
Just a metal clothes
Thomas.
hanger. Yeah.
Mary would
Yeah,
like to try to manipulate the door lock.
Yeah, roll and manipulate someone.
Yeah. The catch here is if I see somebody coming my way, I'm just walking away and going to have to leave it there.
Now, I have a
I
question for you,
Yeah.
Chandler. Has Mary
Yes.
used a clothes hanger to jimmy a door open before?
You know, here's the thing. You read about things online all the time.
Alright, so I have my
and
answer.
they seem so simple.
Yeah, roll to
I
act
saw
under
it on
pressure.
TV, it's
I won't
easy.
give you any pluses.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't think you would. I can't wait. It's cool. And you know what Mary isn't?
Me, Mary's not cool.
Ah, yes.
Unbelievable.
Perfect experience. I obey.
Congratulations.
Learning, growing, changing. Yeah,
Which
go
means
ahead.
I
And,
hit my fifth.
what did you roll? Oh, do you level up after?
Yeah, Mary fails a lot.
Hey,
I got a 4.
Okay, yeah, there's literally no saving that.
Unsalvageable.
And plus no one's around you to even help.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go to try and get the door hanger into the window, and
He jams it in there.
it jams it up against some sort of crossbar, and you've stuck the clothes hanger
And now you can't get
in the
it
window,
out.
and you can't get it out. You cannot get it out.
How'd that
Bummer.
hanger get there?
Looks
That
like
looks dangerous.
I'm gonna need to go
Lean
use
up
the
against
restroom
it,
all of a
just-
sudden.
La-di-da-di-dee-dee-doo. Just
Yeah,
walk away.
I'm leaving.
Where do you go?
I'm gonna go into the building and try and find them and
Okay,
act
sweet.
casual.
You see Raven, Adrian, and Val walking away from the ranger's desk. And you don't see any sign of Dakota.
Great. This is. I'm aware. I canonically, I believe Mary would have gone here once before at least.
Yeah, for sure.
This is a park that you have to pay to go to a lot of their stuff, right?
No, Yellowstone is an open park.
It's a free park. Wow, that's very cool. Well then, I don't even need to talk to the front desk. I'm gonna rejoin the group.
You traditionally only have to pay for things in Yellowstone during high tourist season. It's only outside of that things tend to just be open.
Good. We're going to the group.
All right, sweet. Let's. Oh no, you go. Go.
I'm just gonna walk up to Val and be like, I wanted to let you know that I broke your hanger in your car that you had your tennis shirt on. I was using it as a shoehorn and it broke. So I'm sorry.
It's just the worst.
My shoe is
the
still
worst
on
shoe
too,
horn.
which is a bummer.
Isn't Mary
so
wearing
you were
Crocs?
trying to take the shoe off?
Yeah,
With the
it's.
Okay.
Yeah, there's a pebble stuck in there, and boy, am I upset. But anyways, I'm sorry about
Maybe
that.
roll
one. I'll just
something
have
to try to
like-
figure out if Mary is lying to me.
I will actually instead have Mary roll to manipulate someone
Sure.
because yeah, why not, right?
Use
That
a
seems
luck.
fun.
I mean,
Use a
so
luck, Mary.
I got a 7.
oh my god.
Hob, what were you gonna say?
I was just gonna say if they're talking to Val and Raven, that means Dakota's already made it out. Can I be near the van?
I thought you were going to talk to Greg.
I saw Greg outside, yeah. But if we've already met up, am I not hearing them talking about this?
I think that you were already out talking to Greg while they are talking to each other right now.
Because wasn't Greg standing?
Yeah, he was
near
standing right
Old
outside of Old
Old
Faithful
Faithful.
Inn on the Old Faithful side, not on the parking lot side.
No, okay, not near his van.
No,
Faithful?
he's
Yeah,
not
you,
near
you
his
went
van.
the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, he
Okay,
parked
never
his
mind.
van and left it, and he's on the other side looking at Old Faithful. So, On a 7 to 9, when manipulating another hunter, I will let you know this, Val. You can mark experience if you do what Mary asks, which is, I guess, to forget about it.
But just like pretty trusting, like trying to make new friends, I guess, with these people. I think like here's some like that's probably not a fully accurate story, but it's like I think like claps Mary on the shoulder and kind of like looks at her like dead in the eyes and is like, "That's okay. Don't worry about it." And then like we'll just kind of move on.
Sweet. Well, go ahead and mark some experience. Oh, we didn't do the end of session rolls last time, or questions. Why don't we do that? We should do that really quick, because you guys can get even more experience.
We had too many technical issues.
Yeah, we had some That's right, Pat. You're very right. I was distracted. I need to pull them up. I need to save this file. I'm so sorry. Why don't we... Dakota, what are you doing with Greg while I pull this up?
Gross. We don't need to know
that. Giving him a good friendly handshake because they are very good friends. Not really. She's very hesitant about approaching Greg, considering that he's one of her mother's weird friends. And is excited about going.
Yeah, you've definitely actually never met Greg in person, but you do kind of know of him.
Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I've heard stories that my mom's told me, but I've never actually seen the guy in real life.
Yeah.
And, I mean, looking at his whole outfit, yeah, it lines up.
Yeah.
Checks out.
Why don't we ask the questions really quick, and then we'll get into that. So, did you conclude the current mystery?
No.
No. Did you save someone from certain death or worse?
Believe so. We saved Dakota.
Yeah. Saved multiple. I mean, you guys were all attacked. Did you learn something new and important about the world?
Yes, the methods and the
and the Netherese wizards and Sikoris and all that fun stuff.
And Raven has a kick-ass playlist.
Yep.
I do.
Did you learn something new and important about one of the hunters? And that's just flat yes, because Val joined the group.
Raven has a cool playlist.
And
so, because you answered 3 yeses, everyone marked 2 experience.
Yeah.
Man.
What if mine are all full?
Then you get to do
If you're all full, then you should have leveled up. So, delete
well, it just became full, so...
Oh, sweet. Then, yeah, so whatever you would go over, mark again to continue on, but... Yep.
Beep. Wait.
Yeah, also,
So
I don't know if you know,
1?
Hob, if you roll a 6 or less, you also get an experience point.
That one I definitely know.
Anytime you fail at something, you get an experience point.
Yeah.
You learn from your mistakes.
But obviously, you also learn from your successes as well, due to these questions.
Well,
so
if I don't die, yeah.
But you learn more from your mistakes, anyways.
Of course. We can talk about the whole leveling up stuff.
Yeah, we can do that. We can do that when you're not role playing with a character.
Exactly. Gotcha.
So you walk up to Greg. He when he notices you kind of aware of what he is doing, his stance kind of changes, and he just kind of sighs and looks over at you. What's up? What can I do for you?
Greg, right?
My name is Are you the one I spoke to over the phone?
Yeah, I am.
And
wasn't too excited about it all. But
why? You're not excited. I'm excited.
You made that perfectly clear over the phone that you were incredibly excited. You said something about.
I've been here since 3 a.m.
Okay. All right. What time did I call this guy?
Way after that.
Oh my god. Okay. Cool. Great. We had talked about possibly traversing down underneath.
Yes. Oh, you want to get an Old Faithful? It's my dream to get an Old Faithful.
We could make it a reality today.
Did you get a permit?
No. Wait. No. Where was I supposed to? What permit?
You didn't get a permit.
No. Does it matter?
He leans in.
He didn't.
It's foggy out. We'll call it good and go. Just get your posse and we'll get on going.
Okay. One more thing before I even...
Today's the best possibility to get this done that I've ever had in my life. We need to go.
I have one really big one and one really small one as far as people are concerned. I just want to make sure that we have proper suits for them, or Great. Okay. Turn around with like, oh my god, someone's might die. It may be me with the suit. And like,
I mean,
and,
based on the kit he has, you doubt that that the pressure and the heat will do anything to you down there. But you don't know anything about his suit.
He gives us like an old wetsuit, and he's like, "This is it.
This is
You
it.
got it."
Welcome to
Here
the
you go.
club.
I'm gonna breathe oxygen through this tube to you.
It's just a straw.
He says, "Have your group meet me by my van."
Yeah. So she'll go off and look for them, and I'm assuming, she'll see them there. It's
Yeah,
not like
you
I feel like
turn
they're hard to
back
miss.
into the window, and you see the 4 of them all together, grouped up.
All right, she'll like go to the window and like whatever they're talking about, they'll hear like a pum 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 pum.
Everyone in
Come
the
on.
inn turns to look at you all at the same time, because you're just tapping on the glass of this big open room. And the Dragonborn lady you spoke to earlier just gives you a wagging finger.
Did they at least see
We're
me?
just
Like,
excited.
They definitely see you.
perfect. She doesn't even look at anybody. She's like,
Sweet.
There's that charm.
I think somebody wants us to follow her.
I think you might be
Yeah.
right. Yeah.
All right, and
Anybody
you
need
guys.
to go like to the bathroom, or we good?
Take a pebble out of your
Everybody
shoe with a
good?
hanger.
Pretty solid.
All right, you guys make your way to the van, and Greg is standing there like grabbing at the coat hanger, trying to pull it free. And he just sort of
Alright,
sighs, unlocks his car, and pushes the window all the way down, pulls the hanger out, pushes the window back up, and just throws it to the ground. He obviously doesn't care about where it came from at all. He doesn't seem bothered by it in the slightest. And
can Dakota pick it up and like,
Another
hey,
day,
Mary,
another dollar.
actually, you might be able to use this. She'll like hand it over to Mary, like, here's a coat hanger.
Oh, wow, is that what this is? Seems bent out of place. Wow, thank you.
Sure, you could use it for something.
I bet there's some reason.
I
That
swear,
Like an antenna for your
please
tin
add
hat.
it to your inventory, and I want to see it used in some special way.
Uh-huh.
I swear, I will give you everything you want. I will give you
Everything.
whatever you want. I will give it to you if you use the coat hanger for something cool.
I will figure it out.
Okay. You guys,
I
so
think
Greg,
Zara, like looks as the coat hanger is passed over and just kind of like gives a sly nod to Mary and is just like not gonna call it out in any way.
and you guys see Greg hurriedly, you see across the far wall of the van are hung up like 6 different sizes of nearly the same identical undersuit that he is wearing. And he has these underneath each sets of belts that house these sort of curved cylindrical tanks. He doesn't have big O2 tanks that sit on your back. He has these more sleek, slight tanks because when you're doing spelunking like that, you maybe don't want a big thing on your back. And he, instead of grabbing literally any of that, grabs a massive thing of like jelly and walks over to all of you and he says, "All right, so I need you to slather this all over your body."
I'm out.
Excuse me?
Listen, it's gonna get real hot down there, and this is a insulating layer. You'll put this on. You'll put on a wetsuit, then you'll put on the oversuit, then you'll put on an insulating layer between those, just in case anything decides to catch fire. And then we need to cover that again.
We
And
are to strip naked in the parking lot, grease ourselves up, and then put on this equipment.
oh, not in the parking lot. There's plenty of bathrooms inside the inn. You're okay with this, right? I mean,
I look at Mary for like, if like Mary's like, I'm not doing it, like, then she's gonna go,
Mary, for whatever reason, just like nods and does so without any questions. Like she's totally like, yeah, this makes sense, of course.
Yeah.
Mhm, yeah, this man's a genius.
okay, cool. She looks at everyone else like, okay, safe.
all right, so we good. You'll
I guess. I guess
and
we're bringing this tub of jelly into a public bathroom. Good,
it's
good
gonna-
and good.
I've only got the one tub.
It's funny, the same jelly.
Okay, they
is
probably got a
what they-
family bathroom.
Yeah.
It's fine.
What was
You
that,
can switch
Chandler?
it off.
I was was gonna say, this same jelly is what they use for fire stunts in movies.
Mary, precisely.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So take this, and he throws each of you a wetsuit, and go get ready. We need to get down there before the fog goes away.
Right.
Is there literally a line at this public bathroom of each of us waiting with a suit?
It's hitting
Just like posted up against the wall.
It's hitting like high noon at this point.
And there's still a fog.
There's still a fog. It is a little chillier out. I mean, it's late October, early November at this point. So maybe not unreasonable, but yeah, it's certainly of note. And you guys take your time to put on your jelly, you put on your wetsuit over it. And this stuff, the moment you put it on, you are freezing when you put it on. Like, absolutely bone-chillingly cold. And then the wetsuit
petroleum-based, yeah,
starts to adhere it to your skin. And it's like when you touch a wet cloth to your skin and it won't go away. And then you put on this, like, almost chainmail-looking cloth layer that is made of this interwoven thick fabric. And then he gives you another layer of what looks like carbon fiber that is super thick to put on over that. And by that time, you're starting to warm up a little bit, but not enough to where it feels comfortable again. You're still very cold.
I have a question.
Yes.
Is he in the restroom with the ladies?
No, you're all doing this one by one.
Yeah.
And
Oh, okay, I was just saying.
Come on in.
and then once you guys have on your full suit, he hands you each a helmet to put on, some gloves that click into the overlayer that you put on. And
I do have an
your belt
actual.
tank.
I do have a question though. That I feel like this is important. Our weapons, where? Where's me sword? Where's me gun?
The belt has full ability to have like holsters on it and stuff if you want to clip stuff into.
My only question is, how does my mithril armor fit into this? If I'm putting...
It's underneath all of that stuff. So keeping the suit you have on safe is probably a priority.
So I'm greasing myself up and then putting a suit on and then a wetsuit over my suit.
That's the clothes you brought, my man. That's the situation you're in.
I'm just checking.
Fit check. Just suits on suits.
Yep.
One thing that Dakota is going to ask at some point, I guess once everyone has their suit on, she's going to ask Adrian, how hot can a gun get before it just kind of explodes? Like, what's the good temperature?
I believe it's close to 400 to 500 degrees before a flashpoint ignites itself.
Okay. Oh god, I gotta ask him how hot it was gonna be down there.
Well, the dragon lady said it only gets to 300 or 400 degrees at the vent site, the lake pool.
We tried to go all the way down to the bottom, though. It's really hot.
Yeah.
Worried about the
She
heat?
said there was no
are
way to
you
get
not
all the way to the
freezing?
magma pool.
What? Sorry, no, Pat, go ahead.
She said there was no way to actually get down to where the magma pool is. You can only go down as far as the lake pool where the water comes up and turns to steam.
She said that's how far they've made it. She didn't say that was as far as you could make it.
They said they stopped at a certain point because like water and stuff and steam will come up, so they're like, that's it.
Yeah.
Whereas, and there's like a certain time frame, like 70-minute time frame or something like that, if you were to go all the way down.
So you guys get the feeling that if you want to make your way all the way down to the bottom, you're going to need to find a safe spot halfway through for the geyser to explode while you're in there.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Are you all worried about the heat? I mean, are you not freezing in this jelly? I mean, I wouldn't mind a little bit of,
a couple hundred degrees.
I have a technical question. How long has this all taken? Because didn't the dragon lady say that the next eruption was in like 15 to 25 minutes?
Yeah, but they happen consistently throughout the day. This process of putting your wetsuits on takes an hour and a half.
Oh god.
Okay, so we should be done right about the time for the next eruption, but then it's the short cycle after that.
No, it'll be the
Great.
long
We
cycle
would only
after
have
that
70
one.
minutes.
It'll be the long cycle after that one.
This is the short one now.
Yeah, you're sitting in the... By the time this one goes off, it's the short one, and then between will be the long.
It'll actually work in our favor.
It will.
So.
Assuming you guys get moving.
Yeah, we're already out the door. What are you
All right.
talking about?
So once all of you get your wetsuits on, Greg's like, all right, so technically none of this is legal. Because your friend wasn't able to secure a permit.
The details.
It's okay, we got a government official over here. Don't worry about it.
I thought he just liked wearing suits. You're telling me he is an actual suit? You're telling me I'm going in to a highly illegal place with a government official? You're asking me to go to jail.
Don't worry.
I am an observer.
I can't do it. I can't.
Okay, did I say official? I meant like he thinks he is official.
Roll to
He's
manipulate someone.
I pull Mr. Gary off to the side.
Greg.
I'm going to be doing the manipulating.
Apologetically calls him
Listen,
Gary.
Mr.
It's
Gary,
Greg.
it's Greg. listen here, bud.
Listen, at this point, we are all in penny for the pound, whatever the saying is. If I wanted to, I could have you arrested for multiple offenses at this point. Right now, I need to find out what is going on down here. So do not worry about the fact that I work for the government. I am working for the government that likes to find things out, not the government that likes to arrest people, okay? So if you could just calm down and lead us down to what you want to do anyway, we all benefit.
You see him start to, like, turtle in his suit the more you say stuff. Roll to manipulate someone. I'll give you +1 because that was a really, really good line of logic.
Mm-hmm.
It's really funny because he's like, I won't arrest you, but I
what's
can
my
plus you.
Plus for manipulating.
I could if I wanted to.
But I won't.
Investigate. What the heck's manipulate?
It's plus charm.
Plus charm. So, no, I gotta scroll down to one charm. I have 0 charm. It's a straight 9.
He says, all right, but I need a written guarantee.
Oh, wait, you said you gave me a plus?
A +1.
Okay, so that makes it a 10.
Oh, great. He just goes, all right, I need to get down there anyway. It's been my life's dream. Let's do it.
Then we are burning daylight. Let us go.
You're absolutely
go.
right. Just
Let's
so all of
hit
you
it.
know, you went to the bathroom before you put the jelly on, correct?
Seems like you should have told us that beforehand, but yes, on an unrelated note, yes.
Hold on.
Logical. I mean, you're putting on a bunch of layers. Like, you always do
Wow,
that
yeah.
before you put on all the layers.
Good, because it's going to be about an hour and a half down, hour and a half back up.
Of course.
Okay.
I shouldn't
Great.
drink that big gulp. Alright,
I'm
let's go.
gonna pull a bottle out of Val's car that I shoved into one of the door pockets, and take 2 pills out and swallow them, and be like, "All right, I'm ready."
He
We don't want
says,
to know.
just so you know, that means that we're going to have to find a spot halfway that's safe. We're going to do
Do
what...
you know of a spot halfway that might be safe?
I'm hopeful.
Or are we going in blind?
I've looked at the scans. I believe I know of some spots, but
All right, then lead the way.
this
Like
is
you said, time is money.
unventured ground. We're doing something no one else in the world's ever done before.
Mm-hmm.
Blah blah blah. Keep walking.
Yes, it's
You're
a
killing.
big
wasting
deal for
time.
me. and you guys sneak your way around Old Faithful Inn in these massive suits.
Yeah, I was
Clunk,
gonna say,
clunk.
clunk, clunk, clunk.
I've got 2 golf clubs attached to like the side of my legs and like
Oh
a
my
fire
God.
extinguisher that I'm holding like a baby. Just
Sweet. And you all make your way up a walkway, and there doesn't appear to be park rangers within sight of this spot. And once you see that the fog gets thick enough, you cut a beeline off of the path and make your way straight toward the geyser, and you wait just a couple minutes for it to go off. And you let it go off, and some of the water, you guys are actually hiding in the fog near the geyser off of the path. Some of the water hits you. You don't feel it at all. It is multiple, it's like 200 degrees heat water at this point by the time it's fallen through the air, and you don't feel it. And it kind of hits the screen of your glass, and the glass panes on your face shield are multiple layers with air pockets in between.
So
And-
Mary's not in wolf form, right? Or not Mary. Raven's not in wolf form. Right?
Not currently. We'll see how that goes if it
Okay,
has
so
to happen.
she's not going to want to frolic in the water. Okay.
oh,
Conspiracy wolf.
shake off.
Yeah, and you, right as it's done, so just so you guys also know, he has tied a rope between all of you, for safety's sake. You feel a tug on the front of it, and Greg dives. You see him dive headfirst into this. It's a 12-foot opening, so it's not crazy, but like
Into the garbage chute,
Yeah.
fly boy.
you hear him go whee, and he slides down. There's a good length of rope between each of you, but it's still a length of rope, and he makes his way into the geyser. What do you guys? Who's going? What's your order of operations here?
Yeah, I was gonna say we should have some kind of order. I hate to say it, and I hate to say it. The obvious choice would have Mary be last because she is a strong, larger anchor. Should somebody need to try to stop momentum?
All right. So Greg is obviously first. Who is next?
Make sure the normal person's in the middle. Keep her safe.
Well, yeah, it should be Greg, and then go from smallest to largest. So I would say Raven, Val.
I like Raven in the front
Dakota,
because
and
she's
then
mostly a melee fighter.
Who?
Raven.
Yeah.
Raven,
Raven
Perfect,
is.
yes.
and then Val,
and then Val, and then Dakota,
And then
and then
Dakota,
Mary at the end.
and then me, and then Mary.
All right, we good with that?
Yay, I'm in the back.
I am also going to start using variety in all things, where whenever you attempt to do something you have never done before, you gain +1 ongoing until you've done it.
This is the definition of something you've never done before. So, all
Val is
right.
trying very hard to be cool, is terrified,
Yeah, for
but
sure.
it's like, all right, yeah,
So-
sure.
On that note, as you all dive headfirst into this geyser, why don't we take a quick little break? I need to go to the bathroom, and
Two.
we'll be right back in just a moment, y'all. Thanks for tuning in so far, and all the people who stayed from the raid. We're really glad to have you. We will see you in a bit. All right.
Love you. Just kidding.
They can still hear you, just so you know. But I'm gonna
God.
peace out.
I take it back. I'm not ready for that kind of commitment yet.
Oh,
I'm too
dang.
shy.
Are you ready?
Oh my goodness. Oh, I'm the only one here? Oh goodness, this is a lot of power. I hope the chat's doing all right. I don't want to abuse this. Oh, guys, I'm spotted. Cameron's still here. Let's act natural.
Nobody
So
freak
then I
out.
says,
Everybody's
"Oh, it's so
good.
great you could come back, Cameron."
I know. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, we were just like chat. Me and the chat were just chatting.
Just
Yeah,
hanging. Just hanging. Nothing
yeah,
big. Nothing
it was
big.
fine. It was whatever. Yeah, there was nothing fishy going on.
Oh man. Hold on.
Man, I wish I could hear what Thomas is saying. He looks like he's got so much cool stuff to say.
He probably does. But he's on mute and doesn't want to talk to me.
When doesn't he?
Never.
He is an absolute pleasure.
I never
at
have
all
anything fun to
times.
say. People in the chat, how is the music now? I realized it was a bit low. Also, I love Hobbs' Christmas getup already. It's freaking November 14th, so like,
It's
shut up.
giving me big Stranger Things season 1 vibes. Like all the frantic lights. Love it.
Is that better, JR? I know that some of y'all might not have been able to hear it because sound.
Oh, goodness. All this volunteering, I get out of volunteering at midnight, and then I still have to run for my day.
Oh man,
Makes
midnight?
one- Yes.
Technically,
have to
you'd be
make sure
running
that-
for tomorrow.
No, it's not the way it works. You would think so because time says otherwise, but the last time I checked, my opinion is far more important than what the clock has to say.
That's funny because like since I started working a night shift, the definitions of what today and tomorrow are very different to me than they used to be.
Dude, it's a circle.
Time's a flat circle.
Yeah, it's just different. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's all just a way to help us.
How's my purposefully English or Irish American accent going? Purposefully bad.
Great, it's wonderful. If that's your roommate, can you give your roommate a thumbs up?
It's my wife.
Oh, wonderful.
He wanted me to give you a thumbs up, and he called you my roommate.
I mean, we are.
Yeah, you guys are such good friends. You guys have been such good friends for years.
It's a gorgeous day outside.
Open the freaking window.
Thank you. Oh, that's gonna feel so good once the breeze comes in.
I hate quarter mornings. Are you guys on break still?
We're currently on a break. I did get the DM. I haven't had a chance to look at it yet, Pat. I'm gonna really quickly.
Chandler, how's it going?
The stream can hear you right now too.
Oh, okay. Hello, stream.
Hello, stream.
We're just a little tired. I got done with volunteering for the week. Helping students. Oh, now she can hear me. I'm tired. I was volunteering the whole weekend, dealing with high schoolers, teaching them public civics. And we stayed up past midnight because children were burning cookies in their microwave and calling 911. Just high schooler stuff.
Really?
Yeah. Yes.
Sounds
they
like
were
a grand old Chandler time.
It's wonderful. I'd be happy to tell you more about it sometime.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
All right.
Alright,
Get out of here.
Gonna go continue cleaning.
Have fun.
Man, Thomas, your roommate's so cool.
We're working on it. I love you too. Oh, that feels so good. It was getting hot in here, so we opened the window, and it's like really nice out.
Thomas, it's getting hot in there.
It's getting hot in here.
And that's sweet. She comes in the room and he's all, "Oh, it's getting hot in here."
It is getting hot in here. 400 degrees.
Or is it just you?
Yeah.
No, we both know it is me. We're both very aware of that. No,
I just threw up a little in my mouth.
Aw, thank you. Are you doing no shave November, Pat?
Do what?
Are you doing no shave November?
No shave November.
Have you never heard of that?
But I don't know what you're referencing.
I think it's male. I think it's testicular cancer is what it's for, and it's just
Why
you
would I
don't
want
shave for the
testicular
entire month of November. And I'm very interested to see because I didn't trim before, and my beard was already getting kind of long, and then November 1st hit, and I was like, guess I'm stuck.
No,
so
it's
I'm gonna
kinda
look
hard
like
to
Santa
maintain
Claus
the
by the
mutton
time
chops
December
if you don't
hits.
shave.
Did you guys see the claymation Santa Claus is Coming to Town movie? It was like made by the same people who did like Frosty the Snowman and stuff like that, or not Frosty the Snowman. It would have been
yeah, it was Frosty the Snowman.
Yeah, but that one
the
was
original one was a claymation. Then they
That's
have the
right.
animated version too.
But Santa Claus is Coming to Town. I am always told by people that I look just like young Saint Nick, like with my hair exactly like it is now and the red beard.
Chris Kringle.
Yeah.
Nick.
What? Yeah, was
I
it?
can see that.
It was Chris Kringle,
He was
wasn't
a
it?
Kringle. Yeah.
He was born a Kringle.
He was a Kringle. Eat,
Yes.
Papa, eat.
notice.
Who ever
Tons
heard
of
of a Sandy?
Burgermeister, Meister
Tons of
Burger.
Don't they have the heat miser and the cold miser in that movie?
That's a different one.
That's
The year without a Santa Claus.
They all just kind of like formed one movie in my brain. I don't know them as
There's
separate
also
films.
the-
They're just one.
Isn't Gandalf the White Wizard in that one?
Sure.
Kind of.
No, that's the Winter
But it's
Wizard.
no, yeah, but
Winter
it's just
Wizard.
it's so funny that they just have a very similar scene. They come out of the forest near the trees, white beard. It's like all very similar. Put one foot in front. Hey! He's just so old that he forgot how to walk.
Oh no!
Uh-oh.
It's just that I think.
Oh, that's the hob. Oh, there's a hob.
There's a hob.
Whoa, I don't know what the heck just happened.
Lost the hob. Need the hob.
Top of your heart, you
You
can
smacked
never.
the
All right,
camera with
folks.
the
We're
big
going back to video.
Oh,
Welcome
makes
back.
the heart grow fonder.
Hi, friends.
Welcome back.
Everybody in chat, I turned the music up a little bit because some people told me it was a little low, and some of the songs are
I
like
can't hear it at all.
different. Could you
Got it
people
muted.
let me know what it's like and if I need to turn it up or down at all? And I can do that. But otherwise, we will get back into it. And I think we need some different music for cave spelunking.
Oh, I love this song.
Gotta have the cave
Good.
music.
Hype, hype,
Uh,
hype, hype. Yeah?
Have you
Yeah.
ever heard the song
Yeah.
"Shoot" by Salt and Pepper?
Yes.
I
Salt and
wanna
pepper.
shoot, baby.
I heard it the other day for the first time, and I was like, "Why can't I picture Hobbs singing this song?"
Hell yeah.
I
Oh
love
my God.
that.
I love that.
I can see that.
All right.
Oh, good music.
Wake up!
This isn't ominous at all.
Not ominous
It's all
at
a
all.
simulation. Wake up.
All right.
Get up, samurai. We got a city to burn.
I missed the bus. Have you ever heard that one?
No, I have not. All right. So, the cave you enter, have any of you guys been in a cave that has had like sulfur drip in it before? It's weird because the walls of the cave look weirdly fleshy. They look like white and round and soft, and everything's a little wet, and it's all kind of weird. And the moment you get in this cave, that is not lost on you. Thank goodness for the fresh air going into your nose, because this is you get the littlest, faintest sulfur smell the moment you go in, but it is quickly shooed away, filtered out, because these caves are just filled with sulfurous air. And you start to make your way down this dark tunnel that eventually evens out. You slide down for a bit, and then it evens out to a solid kind of level walking area. And it quickly becomes pitch black as light is lost. And Greg kind of taps on the side of his helmet towards you guys and presses a button on the side of his helmet and lights a light on the top and bottom of his visor. And he walks over to you, and he also turns a slight knob, and you hear feedback for a moment in your ear really loud, and then it dies down away, and he says, "Can you hear me?" Coming through a crackly speaker in the right ear of your headset.
Oh God, it burns.
Yeah.
Copy.
Over.
Good.
Red 5 standing by.
Let's, all right. So coming up here, there's going to be a bit of a drop. I'm going to need someone to tie off a rope, possibly hold on to it for a while. We're going to do a little bit of a belaying. If everybody could tie off of the rope that they're on, unclip for a moment. I know, safety, but it'll be easier getting down if we're all on our own. And you guys take a second to tie a rope off to some nearby stalagmites. Pop quiz. What's the difference between stalactite and a stalagmite?
One go up,
One
one
goes
go
up,
down.
To
one
the
goes
ceiling.
I love it.
down.
Everybody marks one experience for getting the question right.
Yes. I think that's a level up for me. It
That
is.
with me as well.
Oh, sweet.
Yay.
All right, good. I was hoping
If
that
the
that
walls are spongy from the sulfur buildup, wouldn't the stalactites also be not as
There is
stable?
one that's a full column that you can connect to. That you tie it around. It's quite thick at one point. But you guys do notice that a lot of these stalactites and stalagmites have other mini little spiky bits that jut up toward where the water rushes out of the cave. And so it looks like it's almost like... has anyone here played Dark Souls 1?
Yes.
There's an area at the end of it where everything has like it's almost like the wind has been rushing past it for years.
Wait,
And
yep.
There's stuff that's kind of sticking off to one side of it. That's how everything in this cave looks. It's like it's been like almost paint brushed up toward the exit of the geyser.
Think of like your hair after it's been like in the wind for so long, it stays that way. It's like that.
Anafir in the chat, you get 1 experience. In real life, you mark it for saying stalagmites might hang from the ceiling, but they don't.
Very good.
You're wrong.
But they don't. No, that's actually what they said is, but they don't, which is the best. Like, I like that explanation so much.
Yeah.
Way to confuse me.
No, you're good. And you drop about... Greg goes first. He's always going first with all of this. And he goes down and he says, all right, halfway through, you need to kick off the wall and land on a ledge. It goes quite deep down after that, but that's not where we're trying to get to. I'm trying to get us into a safe spot that leads down later into the main chamber. So be careful, hold on tight, and use your belaying ropes correctly. You've all belayed before, correct?
Belay that, but...
It seems like you're not very qualified to be in this cave, but I'm here for a quick lesson, and he teaches you how to tie the rope in around yourself, and how to... You've got this separate rope that you pull off to the side to increase or decrease the speed at which you go down. And he says the further it has off to the side, the slower you go. If you need it slow, or stop, pull up on the rope. It will stop you. Got it.
Wow,
Out
thank you.
slow,
I didn't-
in fast, up, stop. Got it. And he just drops right after he says that.
In fast upstone.
Does he make it? Like, I think Val's like looking over the edge. Like,
Yeah, you look over the edge,
does
and you see him halfway down just do a Mission Impossible kick off the wall, and he kind of lets some of the rope out as he does it, and he lands on his back on the ledge.
All right, everybody, we've seen this in the movies. Now it's time to play.
I'm
like Tom
down!
Cruise.
And this is about
Raven?
25 minutes
You're up.
into your trip so far that you need to get to this point.
All right.
Yo.
Raven's next.
You can do this.
All right, roll to act under pressure.
All right. I forget what I rolled for that.
Plus cool. I will
Thank
allow
you.
you to instead use plus tough if any of you would rather do that. Because
Great.
that
I'm gonna
makes sense
stick
to me.
with plus cool because my plus tough is
Bad.
nothing. Because
Raven's super cool.
I rely on weird to get me through life.
Weird.
And don't we all? When you
I
really
love
think about it.
Yes. Good point,
Right.
Cameron.
So that is for that's a 10. It's a 10.
10. That is a complete
10.
success. It's funny. My Mike in the chat said cloakers are about, and my brain went to D&D, and I was like, 10. That's not so good. No, 10 is very good. You get down about halfway, and you remember out fast, in slow, up stop. So you stop yourself, and then the moment you kick off, you pull out fast, and it launches you off the wall, and you land flat on your back and give out a nice little grunt that goes through the mics to everybody. But she has landed, and that means
basically as Raven goes down, she basically goes as fast as she possibly can because this seems like fun.
yeah, for sure. And so that leaves us with, if we're going by the order you guys came in, Val
Val's
is
next.
next.
Dakota,
Remember, Val, deep breaths, calm down.
Yeah.
Nice
As Dakota
and
kind of
slow.
like pushes her forward, like you're.
I've never been more calm in my life. Everything's good. We're all great.
So Val, you have a +1 for this, remember?
Slow up,
Yeah,
stop.
that is that is a 12.
Whoa, sweet. All right. Yeah, you
my
do
God.
it. When you kick off, you actually pull the rope slow for a second, which helps you to upright your feet, and you land flat on your feet on the ledge. You don't land on your back. And
I
you...
give like some little shoulder dust off, and I'm like, it's easy, totally
I give a
calm.
big thumbs up to Val.
Yeah. She's a...
Down at the hole.
Like, salute, and like just a look of pride about me for a moment of like, thanks.
She would
Sweet.
make a good agent.
That leaves us with
That's a fun
Dakota's
feature.
next.
Dakota. We didn't even put Adrian in the order, I just realized.
Really?
I'm-
I
He's
thought
Yeah.
behind.
He's
Dakota.
behind Dakota.
Yeah.
I never
Yeah,
wrote him
exactly.
in.
See,
It's because
sorry,
Pat
I
was
don't know
telling
you.
me the order, and so I didn't
Ah.
write him into it.
Look at you.
All right, we're good. So Dakota.
She looks down and she's like, they might actually have that handled. I think we might be okay. Mary, do you need help? I can stay up here.
You look down about a 40-foot drop.
What is it to you, Mary? Like what? Like it's you half it? You're like what, 7, 8 feet tall?
Dakota.
Yeah, I don't know.
Dakota.
He was pretty loose on that.
You
On that
survived your
instruction he gave.
initiation. You can do this. Make your mother proud. It is
Aw.
just another test.
I mean, the
Remember,
worst case
out,
is you.
slow, up, stop. Out, slow, up, stop.
Yeah, Adrian's
3,
right. The worst case is you
2.
break your ankles. You're not gonna die.
Mary, not helping.
You say that as you look down
My
again.
taser, Mary.
You see their vision, the light that they are creating down there. It just gets dark below where they're at. So you either land on the ledge or you go to the bottom of the rope. The rope is tied off at the bottom, so it's not like you will
Is she worried about the dark?
maybe fall. I don't know.
I'm
Y'all have
worried about the
lanterns.
fall.
Dakota, are you
Hey, it's
worried
not the
about
fall that
dark?
kills you.
Am I
He's
worried
putting
about
that
the
in
what?
box.
I take the wrist lamp that the agency sent me and
Well,
I
you-
shine it down so she can see where she's
Oh,
going.
sweet. All right, so you also give her kind of a heads-up light as well as kind of what
Yep.
she has.
Yep.
Um,
You
Okay.
can do this. It is nothing but a little rope repelling.
Come on, we'll catch you. And I like kind of like elbow Raven a little bit to just like hold arms up.
I am very
Fully.
strong.
I just hear like their voices and like slight light movement. And I'm like, oh, okay.
All right, give me that roll to act under pressure. And I don't care if you have better tough. You have to roll plus cool because you're freaking out.
It's fine. It's still a 10.
Okay.
It's okay.
Hey.
Thank God.
All right, with a 10, you are... I don't know if any of you have ever rappelled before, but those
even
first
once.
few steps that you take over the edge from going from vertical to horizontal on the edge of a wall are some of the scariest things you'll do in your entire life. Because it goes from gravity going down to still going down, but pushing you in against the wall at the same time. And it's so crazy. And for you, those first few steps, you slip on some water for a second, and your face hits the wall. But then you push off, get up onto your knees, and get back up onto your feet. And very slowly make your way down. And you push off and reach your hand out backwards. Your friends grab onto it and pull you in. And you do make it successfully.
She like puts her full weight onto them because she's like, oh my God.
You just let go. And that leaves Adrian next.
Well,
Adrian rolled a 10
I
flat.
got you.
Do you have a
It
negative
was a 12.
modifier to either of those two things?
It's a +2 for my cool and my tough. So
you
it's a
go
12.
down quick. You did belay training when you were in the military, and you know exactly how to do this stuff. You've never done it in a wet cavern before, but it's not that much different. And you land similarly on your feet to what Val did. And
It's all algorithms.
last, we have Mary.
Everybody may want to step
The
back
coolest,
a little
toughest member of the party.
Mary,
We got you.
Mary, Mary.
So I.
bit. There's literally no way we can
Robert
help
just
her,
gifted
is
you
there?
a sub, Chandler. I'll give you +1 forward just for that.
Great.
Nice.
It won't
Nice.
do anything. I
no.
got a 3.
Oh!
A 4 to -1 for cool.
You can always use your luck.
You can also use your tough instead of your cool if you want.
So my 4 could go to a 5.
And then a
with
+1
4,
only gets you to a
go to
6. You have friends who can help you to get it to a 7.
Yeah. I would.
I will leave it up to them. I will do that
Yeah.
and leave it up to them as I
I saw
say-
Raven put her hand up first. So,
as I'm like, I don't feel like there was an adequate discussion on rope safety as I lean back and fall over.
All right, I'll roll.
Raven, catch her.
Incoming.
I rolled an 11.
an 11. Sweet. So you don't put yourself to any risk, but you do add a +1, which brings his roll to a 7, which is the only mixed success of the group. So what ends up happening is you go down, and you halfway down, you mix up the slow and the fast in your head, and you go full fast, and you start to drop, and you start to try and do something with the rope, and it doesn't work, and you reach the carabiner at the bottom that snags your chest up against the wall, and you are 5 feet below the ledge where they're supposed to be at, but it's a good thing that you're 7 feet tall, because as you push off of the wall with one leg, you reach out with your other hand, Raven grabs onto you and slowly drags you up over the edge, and you make your way up onto this ledge.
Like, zoinks, guys, that was too close.
Then, oh my gosh. I really want to give you now -1 forward for that bad thing you said.
Yeah.
Greg will then take the end of rope that is loose and tie it off to a nearby rock formation. He says, for when we get back later. And he begins to lead his way into... The caverns at this point become much, much more narrow and sort of complicated. There are some points where you have to get on your belly and army crawl. I'm sorry for anyone who's claustrophobic in the chat, but the whole point of Monster of the Week is to push on your fears, so we're getting into this. And at one point, you, Mary, have some difficulty getting through a section, and thank goodness for the fact that you don't have to carry an O2 tank on your back, because you all push your way in to an open room that has a gorgeous... have any of you seen the chromatic pool in Yellowstone? Do you know what that looks like? The rainbow pool? It's this large, almost lake, but in this case it's a smaller pool. And in individual sections leading toward the bottom of the pool, you see different layers of colors of the various minerals that have deposited on the bottom of the pool. And you see it slightly bubbling back in one corner. And it's gorgeous. The lights that you guys shine in bounce off in these beautiful... colored striations that bounce across the ceiling as each little bubble sends ripples across the surface of this little pool. And Greg says, we should sit down for a bit, take a little bit of a break. It's been a hard walk for a while. And it's been about 60 minutes at this point in your walk. He says it's also getting a little close to eruption time. I think, as far as I can tell from the plans, this should be a safe spot for us to sit and wait. Blue! So, let's wait here for a while and lay low.
Did she just tell Siri to change her lights? Or Alexa?
Timer, I'm sorry.
And you guys sit there, and as you guys feel the air around you start to heat up a little bit, and all of you have an O2 meter on your wrist that shows you the external oxygen content of the air around you. It is at nearly 6% in the room that you're in. And as time goes on, it starts to get lower and lower and lower, and then suddenly it jolts way up. Like, way up. And you see Greg pulls up a barometer, and he says, pressure's rising. Everybody get up against the walls. And as you do... You see from the 2 tubes in the direction around you, some water kind of splashes in towards the pool, and you hear... And it's like that for a solid 6 minutes. Just little splashes of water entering in, and you guys see at the edges of your feet little sizzles of the water that splashes off of the pool, as if the water in that pool is very, very acidic. And it eats away at little bits of the rock as it splashes around, and then everything quiets. Still as it was, like, before. Dead silent. And Greg says...
So how much time do we have now before the next eruption?
In theory, we got another 40 to 50 minutes, which means we need to get moving. And as he says that, a fog starts to roll in from
not like fogs.
the far entranceway, and he says... Visibility's getting low. I think it's after effects of the steam from the geyser. We need to get moving, though.
I don't think... I'm turning my lantern back on full blast.
Okay, all of you have your lights on, and Greg leads...
I'm gonna hold on to my golf clubs as we move for a little bit.
Are you guys having Greg lead the way?
I've got a hand on my knife.
I think Val would kind of like watch Greg start to walk forward and feel an immense amount of empathy for him in the moment of he doesn't know what this means.
Yeah.
I barely do.
So as Val, as you look forward, Greg turns around to say, "Oh yeah, we should get reconnected," and he reaches down for the rope on his side. And he says, "Where'd my rope go?"
That's what I thought.
Hey, Greg, one of us can take the lead too if you want.
Everybody, hands on
You
weapons.
don't know where you're going. I know the maps. What you mean on weapons? That was an interesting question I had as to why you all came heavily armed into this geyser, but
Speaking of heavily armed dudes, Adrian says, hold on to your things. It might get ugly.
I think Val would just like kind of drop the constant smile and like take on a look of concern and just look to Greg and just go, there's some big things happening here.
We do not have time to
Take care.
discuss it.
And
Greg.
then we'll like hand him one of the clubs
And
on her side.
Mary, you're at the
And
back,
just say-
right? You feel a jet of water hit your back as you look back to the pool behind you, and you guys see this viscous, watery creature in the pool sort of shimmer and move, and it and throws another jet of water toward you guys, and you hear some laughter come from the tube where Greg is, and he says, "What the hell's going on?" And Mary, you would take 2 harm, but because of the type of damage this is, I will give you armor 1 against it. You take 1 harm as the right arm of your suit is hit by acid, like sulfuric acid, and you quickly wipe it off to not have any damage against the suit, but it does, you get harm. Like, it's not that you are physically damaged, but... And there's this thing standing in the water across from you guys.
I'm gonna
what do we do?
Instruct everyone to kind of make a circle around Greg, back to back, so we can all see anything coming from all directions.
And then music suddenly stops.
Well,
Right when you
encounter's
needed it the
over.
most, it disappeared.
The end.
All right. Mary, let's go to you first. What are you doing in response to this?
Alrighty, so I am going to, let's see here. I've got the list. Oh, very good. Read a bad situation.
Yeah! That feels good. I will
see.
also give you, Raven, you know exactly what type of monster this is. This is a water weird, which is essentially the pet dog of a water elemental. These things are not much of a trouble, but they can be dangerous if not dealt with. But you also know that they are traditionally stuck in the pool that they come from. They cannot leave the water that they're in.
So I got an 8, which allows me to ask 1 question. And the most important question is, what is the best way out? Meaning, what's the best way out of danger?
To get down, to continue down the way you need to be going.
I will hurry my best that way.
Okay.
And not attempt to stand against the acid little gremlin dudes.
Greg
Not
is
a
currently
plan.
blocking the way down the tube as it gets pretty tight, and that's where the fog is coming from and supposedly laughter. But you do make your way that way, and I will keep that in mind as things sort of start to move.
Yes.
Raven, did you want to impart the information that you know about this thing to anyone?
Yes.
Okay, sweet. We'll make it your
I don't remember
turn.
what I learned last week.
Oh,
but
no,
yes.
I just told you stuff. I'm not sure if you heard it or not.
No.
You're good. This is a water weird, which is essentially like a dog of water elementals. It's not extremely powerful, but is normally stuck in the water that it's in. It can't leave the pool that it originates from.
Right, so yeah, so she'll just kind of look at it around at everyone and say, that thing over there can't leave the water, but, you know, he comes kind of in conjunction with other water elementals, so just keep that in mind, that it's probably not alone.
Sweet. Are you wanting to roll anything? Maybe investigate a mystery or something like that?
Actually,
move at
let's
all?
see.
I still have a question held from last time.
I believe you do. I think it was an investigate a mystery question, if I remember.
Yes, it is. So I already know what sort of creature it is.
You do.
I want to know, what can it do?
It has the ability to, and you're surprised it wasn't able to get it off on Mary, to wrap its water around someone and choke and hold them like a whip.
It's important to know, so she'll share that as well as soon as she figures that out. That that thing can grab people, so be careful.
And she'll just kind of like stay on guard for whatever happens next.
Okay. All right, let's, who wants to go next? Adrian, Dakota, Val? Val, you are right up against Greg, by the way.
Yeah.
Does it?
Yeah.
It looks like everyone's being pushed over towards that area, right?
Kind of.
We're backing
We're
away
in
from
between
the
the
water
pool
wheel, right?
and the
Yeah.
oncoming
The tube
fog,
exit,
right?
yes. Yeah, the oncoming fog is coming from where you guys need to go.
Okay.
Oh
But
man, it's a hard decision. Yeah, I mean, if this can't move, Dakota's gonna kind of like urge forward. We just have to be on guard. Keep your things with you.
Keep the light
Yeah.
on the fog.
I think Val will kind of like, again, like seriously lean into Greg and be like, there's stuff out here beyond you and me. I think you know that. We gotta keep moving.
I don't
I know
what's
it's not
going
big,
on.
we gotta keep going.
Greg don't know nothing.
And I'm gonna use Trust Me, which is the new move that I just took.
Sweet.
To try to
Can you read off what that
convince him
says?
Yeah. When you tell a normal person the truth in order to protect them from danger, roll plus charm. On a 10 plus, they'll do what you say. No questions asked. 7 to 9, they do it, but the keeper chooses from 1. They ask you a hard question. They stall and dither for a while.
Yeah, I
or they
can
have
look
a
at
better
those.
Idea.
You go ahead and
and
roll,
then-
and we'll see what happens. Oh, this is good. I was hoping you'd take this move. It's a good one.
Yeah, it felt appropriate. That is a 10.
Sweet. Yeah, he says, listen, I'm not much of in the position to argue with you. Let's get moving. And
Okay.
he lurches forward, but he is still at the front of the group, and based on the position of the tube, it's kind of hard for you guys to swap that order without moving back toward the pool and then rearranging to go back in.
But we're still in the same order, right?
You are, with Greg at the front, but Val moved herself right up against Greg before this occurred. So
Yeah.
order has lightly changed, which puts Val before Raven.
Right where I
Raven-
want to be.
Raven is where?
Raven is
You're-
after Val, right before you.
And we're going into enclosed space. We don't have time for this. Go!
Yeah.
And she's
can
gonna
I,
literally,
like-
she's pushing from where she's at, like, move!
Yeah.
Okay, sweet.
I'll just start. Can I like almost shoulder past Greg and just tell him to yell directions to me?
You can't. There is physically no
Okay.
room for you to get
No
past
room.
him.
Got it.
And Adrian, are you doing anything special?
Hang on, I'm trying to.
Okay.
Yeah, 'cause we're kind of cornered right now. It's like, which one's worse?
Okay, my question is, what exactly? How are we lined up heading toward this fog? Who's in front? Who's not?
Greg,
who's-
Val, Raven, Dakota, Adrian, and Mary at the back.
Okay.
And at this point, the first 4 of you are in the tube, unable to change that order unless you back out. Adrian and Mary, you guys are still in the more open chamber and can swap order if you want.
Well, tactically, I would have not put Greg in front. I would have had Dakota up front.
He was already
So
making his
he's
way
got-
there and was in the tube before any of this even happened and was noticed.
Not
It's
much
just
I
the
could have done
situation.
at
I
that
thought
point.
Greg was with us by the pool. That's
You
why
guys
I'm-
were by
I
the
was
pool, and then he
confused.
started walking into the tube because the geyser stopped. He was ready to go.
That's when the fog came in, and he was
Yeah.
like, oh, we gotta go.
He
So,
was looking for the ropes too.
yeah. Not much we can do at this point besides push him. Push through.
If
Okay,
there
well,
ever
then I'll-
becomes a. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I can only reinforce the not command, the suggestion that they keep their lights shined on the fog,
Okay.
because we all know what comes from the fog.
Yes, and because you all
And-
have your lights going forward, you hear Greg go, "What in the world is that?" And you hear more laughter move around as over your head, Val, and over Greg's head, between you guys, you see that same impish figure laughing down at you guys as it takes a swipe down at you, Val, with its claws. I will let you roll to kick some ass to see if you end up hurting it back.
Yeah.
What How much
Um,
space is there in this too? Because there's enough for only one person at a time. But how much is
Width-wise,
there above us?
vertically, there's about 8 feet verticality in the tube right now.
So we don't have to crawl. We can stand up.
No,
It's just one
you're
at a
all
time.
standing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's-
yeah.
Okay, I wanted to make sure I had misunderstood. Okay,
it's a
cool. got
stone
it.
hallway,
We can
basically.
crawl.
I rolled a 10 again, but I add nothing to it, except would I add a +1 because I've never hit a monster before?
That's not true. You did hit the same
Oh,
monster
I
last
did.
episode.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think kind of pre-prepped, I like grab the golf club off like my side
Yep.
and just kind of like
There's
there's not
swirl
like
ya.
it's just kind of like clanging around.
So from this list, I want you to choose one. You gain the advantage, which is give +1 forward to yourself or another hunter. You inflict terrible harm, which for the most part you're aware you don't really have to do with these things. You suffer less harm, or you force them where you want them. You also remember that when these things die, they blow up in a fit of hot steam.
I want to force it where I want it. I think I kind of just want to like
Toss it
I
to the
imagine I
back.
have like a driver, and I just kind of like take it and throw it forward.
Yeah, so you
almost.
shove the head of the golf club up into this thing's chest, and because it's mildly corporeal, it goes up in, and then you feel it like catch on its chest cavity, and you whoonk, launch it forward, and as you do, it just sort of explodes in this poof of mist, and the fog starts to die down as this thing disappears. And in response to this, Mary, you guys haven't had much chance to move forward in the tube. This thing behind you sort of sloshes around, and it starts to whip toward you again. Can you also make that same roll? Kick some ass. Let's see if you can do anything about this thing.
Train or what?
You, Mary.
Unfortunate. Let's see here. There we go. We got an 8.
Okay, a mixed success. You, how do you want to hurt this thing back? Because it is attacking you.
I want to suffer less harm.
You can't with an 8. You have to roll a 10 or higher to do that.
Bummer. Yeah, okay.
So, here's the thing, actually. I will give you one of those choices if you choose to not deal harm back to it.
Yeah, I don't, my goal is not to hurt it.
Okay, great.
Well, I don't care if I do, but that's not...
Describe to me what that looks like. This thing launches an arm out from its side, kind of far off to the side, trying to whip at you and grab around your neck. What do you do as you see that coming?
Oh,
She
I
shoots like a
100% think Mary tries to take a step back, and in the process, her heel gets caught in a pool of water, which causes her to trip, which means that the whip hits where her neck was while she is falling backward and lands with her head bonking part of the tunnel.
The water whip slaps up against the side of the wall, and it splashes acid down onto your face mask, which starts to get a little pocked with holes in it, makes it harder to see, but you take no harm, and you are fine. And the encounter basically ends, assuming all of you guys rush your way out. Okay, great. Nobody wants to do anything with the water weird on your way out. Fantastic. So, the fog
Point back
dissipates.
out, then I go, stop it.
There are no more
Just keep
methods in
walking.
your way, and you all continue your way down this watery tunnel. And because you dealt with it quickly, that basically added no time to your clock.
When we get a moment, could we kind of move Greg more towards like the middle? of
There
our
becomes
group?
a slightly wider berth area. If you guys want to scoot Greg, that's fine. He just says, all right, I'm not exactly sure what's going on. I know that I do want to get down there and see it more than anything I've wanted in my life, but you're going to need me at the front if you're knowing where to go. I guess I could verbally give you instructions, but unless I can see where we're at, it's going to be hard.
Can you guide us as the second in line? and
Hob,
let
you're
one
muted,
of
by
us-
the way.
Or
Sorry.
And
Wanted- I would-
could you?
then you can see
Yeah.
over my head.
That's exactly what I was gonna say, Raven.
I
Brilliant.
like that idea. Yes, we'll put a little one in the front. I don't mean any offense by that. It's just, okay, great. And so, Raven, you are now at the front. Let's rearrange the order. You guys can be whenever order you want. So right now, I have Raven, then Greg, then Val, Dakota, Adrian, and Mary. Are we good with that?
Which Adrian and Mary?
Switch Adrian and Mary?
Adrian's gonna take the Jake. Adrian's going to take the rear guard because
Mary's okay with that. All right. So you
I
guys
am a professional.
continue your way down this tunnel, and the caves again get much more narrow and narrow as you get down. The ceiling starts to get low. Mary, you kind of have to hunch as you walk, occasionally turning sideways to get through things, and eventually, after like another 45 minutes, you go down a long slide that Greg just says, "Trust me," on. And you end in a small room with a bubbling hole in the ground filled with water. And Greg says, "That's the furthest point any adventure down here has ever made it."
Till today.
Oh, God, I really wanted to quote Lord of the Rings there really bad.
Yep.
Wow, it's almost as toxic as the forum boards, you know what I'm saying?
Nerds.
I know
Chandler,
what you're saying.
you can't hurt me more than you already do every time.
It only gets worse.
Greg says, "All right, so you've got water, or it's gonna be there for a bit. We're gonna have to do swimming. These suits are too heavy for that, but you're gonna have to stay on bottom and try not to slip down because I know this pool leads down to magma at bottom, deep, deep below. This is a water cavern filled to the brim, but I know that there is an air pocket that leads up from a path on the far left side. We have to be careful. Keep tied to each other. We can't let anyone drop. If you
Does
do..."
Greg still have his rope?
He does. He actually managed to grab it off of the ground where the Mephit stole it from. And he says, "This water is the hottest point in any of the caves. Our suits are not suited for that temperature, for that too long. We cannot dally in this pool. You got it.
Alright.
I need you all to verbally let me know how much you understand how dangerous this is.
Take it slow. Dally. Got it.
Take it
Let's go.
slow but fast."
No!
Just like your first time.
Evelyn.
I get it. Duh.
Oh,
Hold on
God.
loosely and don't let go. If you cling too lightly,
Tight.
you're gonna lose control. I hear you.
Dakota looks at everyone. It's like, I think we all understand. What are?
Just put one foot in front of the other.
Oh no.
Bye, Greg.
We like to have fun here, Greg. We like to have fun.
Greg,
here.
Greg
We have-
says,
we're-
I am honestly having a blast. And he just says that and just jumps and pencil dives into the hole.
Oh God,
I
this
knew
man.
There's a reason
And we're
this
off.
man's never got a permit. to go on this-
There's a reason why my mother broke up with him after all this. Cause oh my God.
And you guys look down into the
Oh,
water.
Like people
You guys see
next,
his
there,
light
next.
go down and down and down for about... And the ropes between you catch taut at one point, and he stops. And what is it?
next
Val,
person needs
you're
to
holding
go.
him tight? Or would it be Raven? Because you put Greg in front for this
Raven,
specific
yeah.
situation?
I'm right behind him. I'm staying
Okay.
behind him.
All right. And so, Raven, you then go in, and he keeps dropping below you. And then it catches taut on Val.
All right, I'm in.
And then it drops, and the other three, there's finally some slack on the rope. And they land. And then, Raven, you land behind. And once Raven drops, there's now tension on the rope again. And so this kind of back and forth of realizing just how deep down this ledge that you're landing on is, you feel he looks down at his barometer and shows it to you, Raven, and it is nearing red line. It is getting up there. You guys are deep into this spot, and the water is extremely clear. It is weirdly clear, and you guys look down over this ledge to see this roiling pool of bubbles and cracks in this red-hot surface, not just another 100 feet lower, and you slowly inch your way up this ramp. And it's weird, because the ramp is smooth, but it is nearly at the same angle that a regular set of stairs might be at.
I am investigating on this.
Okay.
This is fishy as AG double hockey sticks.
Hey, we're in the middle of a boiling pool of water, and you want to look at things.
Hi, John. John's in the chat. Everyone say hi. Hi,
Yeah.
John.
That's the reason
Hey!
we're using some polite language.
So,
Get a camera out. Take
Squeaky
a
clean.
picture.
The shtick is I got an 11. I want to investigate as we're walking along,
All right.
and like kind of bending down and checking the smoothness and
I look at
noticing
the smoothness.
the smoothness.
Can I check it for smoothness?
Yeah, check for smoothness.
We're gonna die in here.
Yeah.
Um,
You, what questions do you want to ask?
yeah, let's see here. Investigate mystery.
Is Adrian going to tase me?
With his knife.
What? Ooh. This is interesting. There's an assumption here. What happened here?
I love that question. This was once, at some point, a man-made structure that has been covered by years upon years upon years. You don't know how long of limescale, which is how
Yes,
caves
thanks,
work.
Let's move on.
But this was, at some point, some sort of man-made staircase.
Listen, the geyser, all right? It's so regular. You think that's just a coincidence? You think things in nature just happen so regularly? No,
Who's he
I
talking
do it.
to?
Okay.
You guys have
I know.
headsets. He's talking to
just
all of you.
Never mind. Sorry.
Yeah.
You can't not hear Mary.
Yeah.
Can we
Um,
discuss it after we get to safety?
Yes. Let's keep going, and I'll ask my second question. I'll probably hold the third.
You only get two.
Which is,
On investigative mystery.
Then
You
I'll
only
just
get two.
ask the second. Where did it go?
Oh, that's an interesting interpretation of the question. Because I don't know if
Mhm.
because you don't know what monster you're looking for yet. Where did it go? I feel like you're
Where
talking
did the
about it in
ramp
reference to the staircase. I like that question a lot, Chandler.
Would you-
Tune
I
in
can
next
try and
week.
add some context to it.
Please give me some context.
Lovely.
You know what? Actually, that's too useful.
This.
I am going to opt in for another question I just saw. Now that Mary knows that this was all made, this was created, this has intention. What is being concealed here? Tell me, Thomas.
I'll give you that answer in a bit.
Okay,
about that?
That's fine.
How about
That's
that?
fine.
Because there is an
Well, how about
actual
that?
this is actually good. This will work out. So eventually, after another 20 minutes of walking underwater, you guys are stuck to the bottom. The weight, you are not able to swim up even if you wanted to try. You slowly, like moonwalk, not like moonwalk backwards, but moonwalk like low gravity, your way up
Moonwalk.
this ramp until you make your way and you see a hole that looks like a rectangular hole. It's not perfect, obviously. It's rounded at edges, cracked in some bits, and it just leads up, and the water just stops. And you surface, and you make your way into this incredibly large cavern, which looks like this.
Well.
And at the far side of this massive expanse of lake, you see this opening that leads into a smaller antechamber at the far side of the lake from where you're at. But this lake, there's a surface to it, and there's a small little river that winds its way and cracks its way through the ground into the hole that you just climbed out of as you make your way into this cavern. Does that make sense topographically to everyone, kind of what the room looks like? You've got big ol' like 100-foot wide lake in front of you, and it leads into this hole that has the magma pit where you guys just came out of. Are we all clear on that? Cool.
Yeah.
Hob doesn't look convinced, but that's fine. As you guys get up there, you see Greg pull out a number of tools, and he says, look down at your O2 meter. And you all see O2 in here is 95%. And he says, barometric pressure is evening out. And you see him just reach up to his helmet, twist it, and take it off.
What an absolute silly man.
And he waits for a second, and then you see him go. And he puts it back on just to put to get the mic. It's good. Take your helmet off. Air's clear. Smells great.
Not
But
too
for
hot.
how long?
No, temperature readings are fine.
I'm gonna pass. I saw the movie Alien. It had Sigourney Weaver, I think, in it.
And as you guys
And
take
they're-
your helmets off,
Puts helmet back on.
you do see that your O2 meter was at about a third of the way down. So you still have 2/3 left of it, which in theory should be plenty to get back. What are you guys?
Taking off your helmets doesn't like make more.
Taking off your helmet means it's not spending any more oxygen.
I'm asking stupid questions. Let's go.
No, you're good. You need special tools to create pressurized air in containers that small. Chandler, Mary walks up to the edge of this lake, and with her helmet on, the high beams just sort of pierce down into the water of this lake. And you can swear at the bottom of it, the water is quite clear, but it does get murky as it goes down. Maybe like 60 feet down, or no, not 60, sorry, that's about 20 feet down. In one of the deepest points of the lake, you see what looks to be a statue of a trident wielding person standing there with a shield in one hand and a trident in the other.
Yeah, I'll point down there and I'll say, "Hark, hark!
It's
It looks like
Jason
Neptune
Momoa."
is upon us."
Does it look human or humanoid?
It's humanoid.
Mermaid.
There's no person in it. It looks like empty armor. Like a knight's armor stand, you know? But it's very... you can't really make up many details on it, but it looks really curvy.
Full armor or just upper part?
Whole armor.
Legs and feet.
No feet, but yes.
Stick with you.
How curvy?
Careful.
Yeah.
For
I've read-
research.
Okay. Just curious.
Curvy enough.
Dakota and Val, like,
Curvy enough.
Like heads leaned in, looking down.
Yeah,
curvy
now
enough,
be-
you say.
Be
Yeah.
careful. I've read in text that suits of armor can just animate.
And
And that's just crazy.
What?
And Chandler, I will also let you know that Mary, when she looks across the lake at that opening on the far side, the wall at the far back side of that is covered in centuries of lime scale. You don't know how long it's been there, but you can swear you see little, like, almost brick pattern that's grown from the lime scale out.
Is the armor? Does it have lime scale on it, or is
It is
mostly
green. You get the feeling that it might be made of a copper-like material, and it has
Okay.
rusted.
If anyone is
Patina.
interested as well,
Patina.
there seems to be
Same thing.
evidence of a built wall right there. But I gotta be honest, this feels like big alien vibes, like Promethean temple type of stuff. I would be careful not to just go around touching things. And if you run,
Greg
don't
is
run in
already
one
at the
single
lake, like,
direction.
reaching to scoop his hand. He's on his knees, reaching to scoop his hand and a cup that he has down into the lake. As he hears you say that, and he says, well, what's the problem with that?
Just don't drink that water. You may turn into an alien squid. It's very likely.
I'm just going to run some tests on it. And he scoops the cup down into the water and starts... he puts a temperature thermometer in it, and you see him put a litmus strip in it, and some other things. He determines, looks like acidity, we're sitting at a 6 on the pH scale. This water's incredible. Some of the cleanest water I've seen in a while.
I beg to differ.
Not over here. Never mind. It's been a long hour and a half.
And he starts to... you see him start to walk around the edge of the lake.
Val would be like almost German shepherding him, like kind of like pretty close by, pretending to be interested in whatever he's doing, but is just like nervous for somebody who was her 2 days ago. You know, like
Now,
is just kind of like, not that I can do much better, but I'm like, somebody's got to be right here.
yeah, I have to say, if this is an ancient structure and it's not currently occupied, then there's no way it could belong to the Illuminati or the church, because then it would be occupied, right? So this has to be some kind of organization that was put down by those groups. I would be very careful. This could be very dangerous. There's probably
So
a
you're
reason.
saying
This
the
is,
Illuminati are aliens?
well, I mean, aliens are just ridiculous, don't you think?
I think your theories are ridiculous.
You've been
Can we move
referencing the
on? We are
movie
running out
Aliens
of
for like
time.
a
What?
good 5 minutes now.
All right, Suits, just explain why there's a temple here. Like, why?
We're
What?
not here to find the temple.
What?
We're here to
No, this
find
is the same. This is the same government shtick every time. We're not here to find the temple. We didn't put Yellowstone here to hide stuff like this.
Mary,
I'm on to you,
do
Suit.
you
all
not
right?
remember
It's
the
same
water
game
dog
every
that tried
time.
to sting you?
Oh, jeez.
The outline of these bricks. How
Yes.
far away are they? Did you say?
It's a good 100 feet across this lake's surface.
Okay, so we would have to like swim
Yes.
across. Okay. Not happening. Unless looks at the smallest
Unless.
one and possibly the lightest one.
Yeah.
No one tosses
Tucker,
the werewolf.
Caver toss her over. No.
Yeah. She looks at everyone wide-eyed. I wasn't gonna like throw her. Oh my god. No.
That would be pretty impressive throw, honestly, to go that far. Like, really impressive.
I mean, Mary?
I'd like to see it.
Chandler.
All these Gen Zs down here. No, okay, so these suits, no matter what size or whatever, they're gonna sink. Or like, if we just let her like go off, she'll be okay. You know, we just give her a little line. I want someone to touch it, because I can't go and touch it. I'll touch it.
Why do you need to touch something?
To make it go.
What exactly are you
Make it
trying to
go where?
touch?
Okay, so she's gonna point at, like, okay, so, okay.
You're gonna touch something, and then something
This-
bad's gonna happen.
When
That
you say
or-
something bad is going to happen, you see a grouping of bubbles rise to the surface in the center of the lake.
Oh no, he touched the water. We were
Statue
too
farted.
late.
And then some more bubbles start to rise, and then a column of bubbles begins to
I
erupt
immediately push Greg
in the center of the lake
I'm like,
as the
yeah.
bubbles violently rise, and then whoosh as the lake whirlpools into a massive spiral of water, and then jetting from the center of it, you see the suit of armor wielding the trident is a suited man made of water, and he points the trident at you and says, "What are you doing?"
Okay, Raven, go
I
touch
needed
him.
to. No.
I wanna touch
Raven,
him.
go!
Just vibing.
Thou
how about
shalt
you?
leave this cave.
Oh, no.
Not a problem.
Nah, don't think so.
We're trying to figure out what exactly is going on here.
What do you mean?
Well, there's been a lot of strange things happening, and people have been getting attacked, and we were just trying to see if we could do anything to help stop the attacks happening, perhaps.
Attacks.
Yes.
Yes.
Steam guys have been getting up to the surface and hurting people.
I am aware I sent them. I am Eris,
Oh.
the final creation of my namesake and the last true guardian of Socorus.
Nice to meet you,
Nice
I'm
to meet
Raven.
And Dakota, when he says Socorus, that name pops back into your head from your mother telling you that that's the name she heard spoken to her by that warm, round voice that came from the center of Yellowstone. And he says, I sent them to the surface because the surface world has become a threat.
What do you mean a threat?
A threat in which way?
Whatever that house
A
is.
threat. Say that again.
I was put here to defend Socorus from anything magically that could change what's going on down here, that could interfere. I was told by my master when I was created to destroy anything that gets in the way of keeping Socorus whole and healthy.
So, of course,
Are you responsible for the ley lines?
No, ley lines exist throughout this world. Socorus taps into all of them.
So, of course, the city.
Socorus is not... Oh, Socorus the city, you say that?
Is this the city?
Socorus was a city. It's been millennia I assumed its name lost to the surface. What do you know, little one?
Well, you just mentioned, and then there's various structures, and then I kind of put two and two together.
She's really smart.
Evidently.
I don't know much about any of that, anything that you just said, but I know a lot of people up top. Some of them are good, and some of them are not so good.
I care not for the problems of the surface. I care only for the safety of Socorus.
But what does the
How-
surface have to do with what goes on down here?
I felt a disturbance in the Force. A disturbance.
You got a Star Wars fan over here, guys.
I felt a disturbance in the patterns of the magic that exist around this land. Something allowed me to not be able to see beyond. I can't detect anything outside of this cave anymore, and I had to put a stop to it. I know it's that house.
Can we help you?
I can feel it, like a tether.
All the runes and things in the house.
It's interesting because Val doesn't know anything about what he's talking about.
You feel
No.
threatened because the house came alive and stopped you from feeling the surface world.
The weave is left decimated. Any interruptions in the balance are dangerous. Such a large interruption in magic could create rippling effects across the planes.
I'm going
It is
to bring
interesting.
myself to my knees.
Are you aware of a spirit on the surface by the name of Bill or William?
I am aware of no surface goings on.
Are you aware that he also now cannot see past Yellowstone or see into Yellowstone?
Then my
So
suspicions
perhaps
are
the
confirmed.
threat is centralized.
What were you gonna say, Chandler?
I was going to say, oh, great Eris. I ask, who could benefit from such machinations as to disrupt the weave? What ancient enemies of the city of Socorros would benefit? The Aboleths, per se? The Illuminati?
Oh my god.
There were many, many enemies of Socorus. I have seen none since the Cataclysm.
Well,
Except for this.
I have news from the surface world that is causing you issues. Perhaps you say it is the house that is causing this. Yet the person who built the house says they were called by a voice from the land to do so.
You see the armor on he it's hard to tell, but his posture changes slightly, and he is intense the whole time. You don't see his mouth moving, the face armor is solid and still, and he almost floats above this jet of water that holds him in the air, despite the turbulent water around him. And I know I've been putting on a gruff voice, but imagine his voice comes out as almost like the crashing of waves mixed with the soft sounds of a babbling brook, mixed all to create this voice that exists through the armor. And you see his posture,
like my
for the
mother-in-law.
first time, change slightly when you say that. Socorus speaks.
Perhaps.
Socorus, wait.
Impossible.
Socorus
Socorus would not.
No, they do. My mother heard a name, a warm voice, something about Socorus. They have to speak. She doesn't lie.
I was told by my master that Socorus was too weak. It must be protected and kept safe. I am the last line, and you will not make it past me, and you will not exit this cave alive. You cannot know the secrets that belie this area.
We don't want to fight.
That is not a choice you get to make. You have
We
come
not
down
have-
here. You have asked for the fight.
Oh,
And Greg says,
darn.
the fight? Sorry. I just wanted to know more about the caves. And Eris says, silence! I will hear no more of your babble.
Would you not accept help to keep?
What help can a surface dweller give?
Well,
we're
my
very
people,
strong.
my people keep
Smart.
things like this very sacred. These are things that my family knows, and plenty of us, and she motions over to everybody, are desperate to keep things like this safe and secure and in balance. We could help you.
I have a
That's what
question
we're here for in the
you,
first place.
little one. How long have you lived? What is your age?
Okay, aren't we all?
And he
kinda
looks
little
down
to
at you,
him?
Dakota, when he says little one. He's not looking at Raven, the usual little one.
Okay, I wanted to make sure. She
Yeah.
looks down at Raven and
Yeah, there's just silence, and he just keeps his faceplate pointed at you, yes.
I contact with everybody. She'll give her 20, 25.
25 rotations
Yeah.
around the sun. Interesting. I have seen nearly 10,000.
How long have you been here for?
That
I think
long.
he just said that.
Unmoving, unwavering.
You've been here that long. The surface has changed, almost like the ocean itself. And I know that there's not good stuff happening up there, but if you're stuck down here, maybe we can help be a first line of defense up there?
Evelyn.
I don't know.
Evelyn
This
has
is
her
all a
child.
little... Oh.
I do have a question for Evelyn when she comes back.
Yes.
Do you have a specific move that lets you charm or roll to manipulate monsters?
I have. Let's see, an unnatural appeal, which is my plus weird to manipulate someone, but I don't have anything specifically for monsters.
Okay, because there is a monstrous move. Sorry, guys, we're getting into a little bit of the game mechanics here, but there is a move called Dark Negotiator that says you can use the manipulate someone move on monsters as well as people. Because one of the key parts of the mythology of this world is these creatures are beyond understanding and being able to understand what's going on with the mortals. And you guys, so far throughout this conversation, have come to realize that he is as fluid as the water, but as solid as stone. He is not moving on this. And he says, he repeats again, I care not about the problems of the surface world. I only care to defend Socorus, and I will defend it from you.
And we don't want to do anything to hurt it.
We want to defend with you.
What you want matters not. What matters is you know the entrance. And I cannot allow that.
I don't know,
Literally,
guys.
everybody knows that this is here. Just...
You will.
I have never once seen a mortal until now.
Yeah, because I think it's super dangerous to come this far.
Then you are
Right.
brave.
How can you make
to come
judgment
to your
calls about
death.
someone that you've just met?
I make judgment, and that is all I make. I am here to guard. I am the line, and that is all. There is no gray,
Okay.
there is black and white. And I will send my minions until that house is destroyed, down to its very foundations, and Socorus is safe from its dark magics once again.
Man, it's really
think-
a bummer. This probably wouldn't have happened if you all didn't finish that house.
I mean, it's what's for protection, though.
What do you mean, protection? How could you know this?
Well, that's what the runes were, as far as we understand. Protection,
also what-
abjuration.
The person who built the house said he was told and
Guys,
commanded to build it to protect.
Told
Yes.
by who?
We
The
don't
voice.
know. We weren't there when he was told.
There are dark forces in this world. And Dakota, just so you know,
I was
not-
just about to ask.
I will give you this.
about,
He was essentially told by Socorus. You've put two and two together. If your mother was told by Socorus, if it was the exact same description of it, then he was too. There are dark forces.
I don't
in
think
this
he's gonna
world.
listen to it though.
Illusions.
not gonna-
Anyone
yeah.
can lie about who they are. I'm certain he
Including
was.
yourself.
I was created for one purpose.
So you
What-
say.
What if Socorus lied to you about the house?
Socorus
What
has
if
not
there's
spoken to me. Eris created me to protect Socorus. I took his name when he died. and I stand.
But if Socorus hasn't spoken to you, but has spoken to other people, maybe you should listen to the people that have actually
I was
heard.
told Socorus is too weak, must be protected. It is impossible what you say. This is a lie.
By who?
By Eris, who created
But that
me.
was, what, 10,000 years ago?
It
Lots
does
can
not
change in
matter.
10,000 years.
I
This
doubt
has
you
not.
can be convinced.
Yeah,
I
at
feel
this
as
point.
though that there are darker forces at play here that you will not be able to understand, whether it's by voluntary choice or not.
Listen,
I
you
know
have
that
lived
something
a quarter of
hides
a
in the
mortal
peat.
life. I have lived thousands of them. I'm sure I
It
know
has-
more
In a
than you.
cave.
And it has made you rigid and foolish.
I tire of this conversation. Either prepare
It is.
yourselves
Alright.
for battle or die.
I
Eris,
pick
ask
up my
yourself
golf
this.
club.
She grabs Val's golf club, puts it down. Maybe we should not do that right here. We should probably, maybe do a game plan. He's big and can control water.
Yeah, he is rather large. He's
all I
about
got.
I don't
two
think any of us
times
can do
the
that.
height of any of you guys.
Big
Yeah,
boy.
yeah.
And he is a good
Seeing Mary,
like 40 feet away from you in the center of this
Yeah.
whirlpool of water.
seeing Mary back up, Dakota's gonna kind of with the golf club motion vows we should
Yeah, I just
maybe
kind of let it guide me.
we should regroup.
As you say that, you see the water in the lake starts to creep up over the edge of the water, and it is slowly starting to reach about an inch on your boots.
She'll take steps back. Does it look like he's doing anything or manipulating anything?
He visibly has not changed in any way other than the stature he was in.
Okay, yeah, she's just gonna take more steps back.
The
away
water
from
at this point goes all the way up to the back wall of the cavern, and is starting to slowly rise as you see the lake begin to become concave at the back and convex at the front, leading toward you as it is reaching its way up onto the ground near you. And Greg says,
How long
I'm putting my
have
helmet
you
back
been
on
in
for
here?"
this.
Yeah.
Shoves his helmet back on, turns it.
This water's hot though, right?
No,
I just wanna-
Greg touched his hand into it.
Oh,
He
that's
took his
right.
glove off and
Never mind.
touched his hand into it. He
bad, yeah.
read temperature was around 90 degrees. It's hot, but shower hot, not boiling water hot.
Yeah.
What's the difference?
I don't put my helmet back on. I take a couple of steps toward Eris.
Okay.
I look him straight in the eye and Eris, consider this. You said Socorus has not spoken to you, and you were told by your predecessor that you were made to protect him, and yet here you stand with people who have told you flat out that they have heard the voice of Socorus. Is it not in the realm of possibility that the person who created you to do this job may have been misleading you just in the slightest for his own purposes?
He just says,
We have offered our assistance. We are not here trying to overtake anything. We are not here trying to fight you, and yet you insist that we are in the wrong, and yet we have said we have heard the voice of Socorus, where you have not in all your 10,000 years. Is there not the realm of possibility that you could be mistaken?
He says, I will not hear your vile speak anymore. Liars are what you are, and liars is how you will die, like
Can
dogs
I roll
on
to
the
manipulate
ground.
this dude just a little?
No, because you cannot roll to manipulate monsters. Unless
He's
you
not
have a
monster,
specific
he's an
move,
elemental.
which Evelyn has not taken yet. So, no, you cannot do that. And he rushes forward at a speed you were not expecting and is upon you in moments. Your helmet is off, and he begins to attack. Everybody, get ready. Think about what you want to do. I'm going to send over some spells that you learned, Dakota. Your mom gave them to you. And I will get some music going. But otherwise, tell me what you guys are kind of preparing to do.
I can only act under pressure as far as I know.
Well, you can roll to what I'm having you do. What I'm gonna have you do is roll to kick some ass because he is fighting you, and you.
Would
At the beginning
But
of this, I had
If
kind of
he's
mentioned.
lunging at me suddenly,
Well, it depends.
just
Are you trying to
reacting,
dodge out of the
not
way,
really
or are
fighting.
you okay? Then yes, roll to act under pressure.
At kind of the start of this, I had said that I had pushed Greg a
back.
bit back.
Great.
Like, kind
Yeah,
of
he
away
will
from
let
the
you
water,
do that. He won't question
Yeah.
that.
I think I would tell him, get as far as you can, be safe, and I'd have him take one of my golf clubs and just
Sweet. You brought 2 golf
anyway.
clubs?
Yeah, one on either side.
If
One driver, one putter,
if
I like
Val will,
variety.
if Val will allow, Dakota will, with her sword, have it out at the ready and just kind of like have like, I guess, like another stance like on the other side of Greg to also help keep him safe, because this is our way in and out.
Which sword? Your regular sword or your sun blade?
Regular, not the one that could blow everything up. I don't want anything to blow up.
What do you mean it could blow everything up?
I don't know. Whenever I'm underground and I have anything to do with fire,
So,
whenever I've played a game, everything blows up.
Well,
so
that's
fire.
good, but you were told that the air here is about as clear as it is up topside. In this
Oh
specific
my god, that's
room.
right. Okay, then yeah, fire sword. Fire sword, dude.
It's not so much a fire sword as you see her ignite a lightsaber, but it looks like it has the blade of a longsword. Like it is detailed, and it has these runes that go up it, but it has the color of sunlight. Not the sun itself, but sunlight. Just emits from the base of this hilt that she holds in her hand. And we will start with that 8. Do you add anything to that? Oh, that's a 2 and a 3.
Yep, I'm using a luck.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So with your act under pressure, you quickly dive across on your chest. Do you put your helmet on as part of this? Because the water is starting to rise.
As far
on
as
your
I
side
know,
of the
my
room.
helmet's back with the rest of the group. I walked forward.
Okay. Then your helmet is on the ground, nowhere near you, and you dive away from it, kind of on the ground. As you guys see, as he dives, these 2 water-looking creatures come up out of the water and grab onto the edge of the pool and lunge themselves up. And you see one of them rear back and whip its arm toward Val, and one of it whips its arm toward Dakota. Both of you roll to kick some booty.
Oh, Lord.
Man, we are rolling hot today, baby.
Oh, great.
We got another 10.
Sweet.
Oh shit! I rolled. My brain was like, "We're playing D&D." Rolls a D20.
Roll
I'm
to
over
hit.
here and I keep wanting to reach for them. I'm like, no. Those are too big. You don't need those.
11, 12.
Oh wow, both of you got complete successes. So both of you can pick from that extra bonus stuff. You get you can give +1 to someone else, you can inflict extra harm, you can take less harm, and you can force them where you want them. These are about 20 feet away from you, but their arms slosh out toward you like whips made of water.
Baby's gonna add extra harm.
Okay.
I'm baby.
I assumed.
Yeah.
I could only assume.
I too am baby.
And are you adding extra harm as well?
Yeah, I think Val's pretty angry. Like, being talked to that way was not enjoyable.
Yeah.
And so I think she just kind of like winds up and hits as hard as she can, which is a hilarious image.
Yeah.
Hitting water with a golf club.
Sweet. So as you put your sword up, Dakota, this thing steams around your sword and reforms and grabs onto your throat. It looked like it was undamaged by the fire damage that your sword deals.
Super cool.
As you look forward, though, you see Socorus's armor harden and freeze with spiky ice across its surfaces. You get the feeling that maybe he's your target rather than these things, just to kind of gamify some stuff for you. But I did have them attack you. You didn't choose. And it reaches and grabs its arm around you, and because you have your helmet on, you don't take any damage. This thing's giving you armor, but it is holding you by the throat. You have -1 ongoing until you get its arm off of you. And the same is true for you, Val. This thing's arm is around your throat. Wait, did you choose to take less harm? Or deal more?
No, I did more harm.
Okay,
to
yeah.
Deals
So
more
you,
harm, yeah.
but your golf club does manage to get a bit of a swing in on this thing, and you knock a little bit of the water away before it gets the chance to get its.
Is she using a wood or an iron?
I believe it's a driver.
Probably iron.
Oh, an iron.
Yeah, driver.
Boy, that a driver. That's gonna leave.
7 or an 8 iron, it'll determine the damage.
Oh, yeah.
7 damage.
But if
Wow,
she
it kills
used
it in
the
one
wood,
hit.
She
No, I'm
would
just
have got
kidding.
more bludgeoning.
Wait. So this thing, yeah, I guess it doesn't matter. It's just a suit.
It's a
so
suit.
Can...
It's not choking
Yeah,
you,
it'll-
but it is holding you. And
None of this is fun for me.
and
Okay.
sweet, yeah. So,
Gun.
Just light pressure.
but neither of you take any harm because of the armor you are wearing.
Very fun.
And then that leaves us with Adrian on the ground. So Raven and Mary, what are you guys doing in response to this?
Would Raven know if she has enough room in all of these layers to
Wolf out?
change?
Yeah, you got enough room. I'm not going to make you
Okay.
not wolf out.
Yeah.
I got the bigger
So-
suit,
Does she
you know?
really want her claws puncturing her suit?
Well, she can take her gloves off.
You
right
can take
now.
your gloves off. It's a safe place.
Yeah, so she'll take
Okay.
the gloves off.
In fact, the boots and the
And-
gloves come off, but that might take extra time.
Yeah, so she'll leave. Yeah, she'll take the gloves off. She did put her helmet back on, by the way. And you know, as she goes to wolf out, she says, "You know, we were trying to be nice, but
Apparently, you're not going to let us. And she shifts.
Take +1 for doing the cool voice change. Um,
Val's like in the back, just like, that was cool as hell.
and so
Why
your
am
two
I just
friends are being
picturing
held
the
by
scene
the
from-
neck, unable to move, but they are guarding Greg. Who do you go for?
I'm gonna go to help Val.
Okay. All right. So roll that
You
damage.
Okay,
I'm just
so
picturing the scene from Teen
I-
Wolf where he's going like, "I said I want."
you also
or-
mark
or-
experience if you're coming
Oh,
to.
do I?
Wait, hold on. Let me make sure that's true. Let me double check.
I think you're right.
okay, rolling to kick some booty.
Kick
Oh
that
no,
booty.
it's if she protected me, then yes.
Ah, I see.
but
Yes.
she's not doing that.
Plus weird, that is a 12.
Wow. All right. So add on some bonuses. Pick what you want.
Okay, let me go up to the kick some booty. Okay, so on a 12,
And give
I get
the 12. The
bonus
12
extra.
plus doesn't matter. It's only the 10 plus because you haven't advanced that move yet.
Okay.
So
right.
you can suffer less harm, inflict
Um,
more harm, force them where you want them, or take the advantage.
I want to force them off of.
You want to get the arm
like,
off?
to
Okay,
let
sweet.
go off of Val.
So how much damage does your claw deal? And Val, how
3.
much damage does your club deal?
Golf club? I think 2 harm.
Okay, sweet.
So 3 total then?
Yeah.
With the plus 1.
Oh, that's right.
So yeah.
All right, and so you go to claw to it, and you hear it sort of whoosh, and it shoots a jet of water right at your face that splashes off of your visor and hits your hands, and you feel acid burns start to go across your fingers. And you take 1 harm that is has the burning tag, which will get worse unless you clear it up with something else. There is regular water in the lake, so you can just go wash your hands off, which is near your feet, but you will have to do that.
Yeah. I'll do that.
In a second, yes, and
Yeah, when I can.
and you take your claws and just rake them through the arm that is holding Val, and it splashes down to the ground in inert water, and Val, you are no longer held, so you don't have that -1 ongoing anymore.
Oh.
That brings us to Mary.
Look
What
at
do you
Raven, and I think like real quick I grab her by the helmet and I like bump her head.
have? Oh, that's cute. Mary, what are you doing?
Yeah, absolutely. So Mary is going to back up and kind of pressing her wall or her back against the wall, and is going to fumble for some kind of flashlight or something to look at it.
You
and
have
get a
one on your
better-
helmet.
Oh yeah, just boom, see it. And we're gonna try and investigate it to figure out a little bit more about this particular creature itself.
I love it. I love it. Give me that roll.
Absolutely. Let's hope for good things. An 8. I'll take it.
All right. One question. I feel like I know what it
one more
is.
Question. Thank you, Thomas. I appreciate the one question.
Appreciate.
I think we already know what can hurt it. What can it do?
It-
Oh no. What sort of creature is it?
This is a water myrmidon. This is a essentially a leveled up type of elemental that was created inside of a suit of armor. So not only does it have all of the resistances of an elemental normally, it also has a pretty cool suit of armor, and a weapon, like a real weapon. that
curvy
it
suit of
uses.
armor.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Now that you guys have a closer look on his armor, it looks like it is adorned with these wave patterns and shell patterns that cover the armor. It is gorgeous armor.
Cool aesthetic, bad dude.
Probably worth a lot if you kill him. What do you, so, alright, so that's you. Let's go back to Adrian. Adrian, you are on the ground, you don't have your helmet, and the water is beginning to rise. You kind of get a little bit in your nose when you dive face first toward the ground. Eris is standing above you with his trident ready to stab it straight into your back. What are you doing? You're muted.
Guess that helps.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna grab my dagger and arm it, and I'm gonna try to fling it at the hand holding his weapon.
Okay. We'll do this as an act under pressure again, because I really like this.
Now I gotta find it.
And remember, you guys can also use other spells. I'll say that if you want, you could have prepared something, because at this point you guys have a pretty decent knowledge of, especially Raven has a pretty decent knowledge of the player's handbook. But I did send in the general chat a couple of spells that, Dakota, if you want to say that you told the party about those, that's totally fine with me. So that Raven knows how to cast them.
Of course. I'd also love to know the spells that I said.
They're in the general chat of the...
Metal.
I'm sorry that I barely look on there. I'm always doing other stuff.
No, you're good.
Okay. I'll go. It's not an excuse.
With my +2, that's a 10.
All right, so you take your dagger and you flip onto your back, and in that motion you whoosh, throw your arm out with all of your weight behind it, and you hear it ching stick into the armor of the gauntlet on the right hand of this guy, and his hand just is forced open, and you see his trident clink down to the ground. And he looks at his hand, and it's like jittering and shaking. How much damage does your knife deal?
Blah, blah, blah. I don't know, does it change? Because you just got it as a big knife, and I had it upgraded.
So the upgrade I'm only saying gives it the electrified tag, which means it can stun and deal electric damage, but it still deals the same amount of harm. No.
So then 1.
1 harm? Yeah, so you see him kind of react to that, and then he takes the knife out and throws it into the lake behind him.
Now, his weapon was above me. You said he's getting ready to stab it down me. So when he drop it,
it dropped right on top of you. You can totally grab it. I'm not even going to make you roll for it. You have his trident in your hands. And when you do so, you feel a surge of power rush through you, as if you can minorly control the water around you.
Sweet.
Yeah, pretty sweet. All right.
Could he move it off of Dakota?
Do I know what I can do with the water with it, or just have the feeling that I can do something?
You have the feeling that you can, and not yet, because you just took like a whole big action, and we're gonna have you. That's your turn. But you do know that somehow, some way, you have minor control over the water around you. All right. That's pretty neat. That's really cool. Didn't expect that to happen. That's cool. All right. Dakota and Val. Dakota, you still have this water whip around your neck, but Val, you are free of it. What are you doing?
I'll go ahead and then, take my club after swinging it and head bumping Raven, kind of like bring it back down, kind of like a bit,
In the meantime, am I able to, this thing's made of water, correct?
Yes.
One would assume I could control it because water, correct?
If you cast the spell Control Water, yes.
Heck yeah, of course I would love to do that.
It is an elemental, so it still has control over its own body, but you might gain some minor control over parts of it.
Of course. Oh yeah.
Depending on your
success.
success.
I just wanted to not touch me.
Yeah, but
I just wanted to...
that might change based on how well Val does, but it doesn't sound like it went good.
I got a good solid 3.
Sweet.
Nice.
Not even close to survivable or scroungeable. Yes.
It just hits the cave floor, and it's just this obnoxious clang that's just like stuck in her helmet.
Yeah, so you go through its arm, but the head of the club doesn't go through, just the neck of the club, and so it's just this tiny little break in the water that reconnects, and it's no problem at all. And the club the head of your club dents back and you now have like a 45-degree angle golf club that you're working with.
Everybody here's in the thing like, way to go, Val. It's just like she's being like choked and like lifted in the air.
Yep.
I'm like, I'm like, I'm still new. I'm trying.
It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
I'm trying to like pry at the water.
She's going to cast control water just to see if she can pry this water hand off of her not water neck.
Sweet. So why don't you roll to use magic, and why don't you tell the cool people what you do with your hands and mouth? Because
my hands and my mouth.
I wrote a bunch of stuff.
Videos
of stuff like
that.
I gotta have dust.
Those two things.
I gotta have dust in my hand, apparently. How close am I to a wall?
You're right there. Yeah, you can easily grab a pinch of dust.
Sweet. Yeah, it's literally like just like it's all quick and it's just like frantic grabbing and like one hand like scrape the wall, just douse it right inside of the water, like elemental, whatever it is. She doesn't even care. And she's going to, with her hand, like pull her own hand like out, just to kind of signal that pulling away of the hand
see.
Of this. Yeah.
And what did you roll?
You roll dice.
You add your weird.
Oh heck yeah, that's a 9.
Okay, so with a 9, the spell glitches.
Nice.
And I get to pick the glitch.
Shit.
We don't get to help
There's
her.
nothing I could do to help her, is there? I don't have any. I have a -1 to plus weird.
Val, there's absolutely no way you can help her. Adrian,
I don't think I even know what she was doing.
Adrian, you are busy figuring out your own magic stuff. Raven is the only one who can help.
Raven.
You are muted, Evelyn, by the way.
I should be unmuted now. Can you hear me?
Nah, you're good. I can hear you now. I think it was just it wasn't picking you up for a second.
Yeah. I can help. I can do this.
It's Leviosa.
Hey. I can't help. That was a 6.
Great, I love it.
Oh, okay. That's not good because that it puts her in harm's way. So what happens is you cast the spell and it pulls its hand off of your neck, and then like you're pushing someone's hand back who's trying to put their hand back on you. It just shoves right and grabs Raven.
Oh no!
Instantly and forces her straight to the ground from the force of that extra shove that you gave it. So Raven, you take 2 harm as you smack your face into the ground below. But
oh my god, I'm so sorry.
Dakota, you are fine.
I have unquenchable vitality though, so I'm gonna heal.
Magic. You're like
You're okay,
too
right?
good at magic.
You're okay, right? Raven's like, ugh. Yeah, I'm fine. Okay.
Yeah, she's like Werewolf from X-Men.
That one was roll plus cool, so I got a 10.
Great.
So I heal 2 harm.
Great. So you hit the ground, her face like breaks. Like she breaks her nose and then you see it just back into place. Like Wolverine.
The image I'm getting in my head is, you know, when a dog tries to like bite at like a hose that's just like water coming out of it, and she's just like.
But it does still have its grip around your throat, and you are still on the ground.
Also, with that 6, I just leveled up, so.
Oh, great.
Hey.
I was gonna ask. That was my action right there. The control water.
Yes.
Right? Can't do anything else.
You tell me.
Right.
What else do you kind of want to do? I might let some stuff happen.
I still got my sword, right? Where's that little impy boy that's been like?
Oh, that
all
Mephit
on it?
died a long time ago. You just have
Alright,
these 2
cool.
water weirds and Eris.
All right, I guess.
One
I'll
water
stop.
weird
I'm
is
gonna
not looking good.
Immediately as I fall like back down, I'll like scramble myself back up, like trying to get my sword as I make my way over to Raven, just to kind of like fend and protect.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, all right, Mary.
Yeah, let's take a
Way to
look.
go.
I'm worried I might have to be useful here.
Maybe.
Bruh. Come on.
I
Wait.
think I've got it. I'm gonna do read a bad situation.
You're just the researcher. I love
The
it.
situation. It's bad.
It's bad.
Yeah, well, I can learn about what's vulnerable to me and get bonuses to deal with that. So,
All right.
considering all of my weapons only do 1 damage right now, I
appreciate the help. Okay, I got a 9 on read a bad situation.
Oh, here, let me show you guys what Eris looks like.
Yeah. That's some curvy armor.
Yep.
Alright, I picked my thing.
He also has a shield
Very
in the
cool.
other hand that this picture doesn't have. All right.
So I'm going to ask a single question, which is, what is most vulnerable to me?
Anyone's suit becoming irreparably broken is probably not good.
Well, no, like, what is vulnerable to me?
That's a hard question to answer. What do you mean by vulnerable? Give me more clear guidance on that.
Like, what could I effectively attack that would be vulnerable to me?
You get the feeling, you see Adrian holding the trident. If you were to distract Eris, that's probably a good thing you could do.
Okay.
I don't know how that's an answer to what's most vulnerable to me, but I've given it to you. So there.
Alrighty, that'll work.
Did you only get the one question, or did you roll a 10?
It's just the one. It was a 9.
All right, well, that's what you get.
Alrighty, can't wait.
And so I will also let you do something, because you still haven't really done anything. What do you want to do in response to
Hey,
that?
that's like your opinion, man.
It is.
I will attempt to distract Ares.
Ares?
Ares. Ares.
A-E-R-I-S.
Eris?
Eris.
Iwit.
Iwit.
Yeah, we're going to, I guess, act under pressure to basically get the big guy's attention.
I will instead
Or,
have you roll
I guess-
to kick some butt.
Yeah, let's do that. I'm going to pull out, I have limited gear. I didn't bring my gun. I didn't bring my camera because we're all underwater. So I did bring some Naruto-style kunai from off of Amazon.
Yes, absolutely you did.
To
Taylor,
chuck.
that's such a decision.
But they didn't come sharpened. They're still dull, but it still works because it's water. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, no.
Spent money on this.
I can't believe that Mary buys stuff off Amazon. I refuse to believe that.
All right,
No, she
Doesn't
did.
feel right.
we got 15 minutes left, folks. Let's finish the fight.
Also, just so you know, I took a natural attack pick.
Oh, so your damage is even higher now?
I added ignore armor to my base.
Ooh.
Oh boy. I got a. How did I get a 0? That's something didn't work right. I'm gonna because I literally can't get a 0 on this roll.
You'd have to have a -2 at the worst.
Which I do not.
No.
Very weird. Let me try that one again. Again, I got a 0.
What are you
Why is
rolling?
that?
Just roll 2 dice.
Okay. There we go. I got a 9.
And then do you add anything to that?
Well, I did add the one for the forward, or not the forward. The reading a bad situation. I get one ongoing while that information is relevant.
Oh,
to
this
me.
is absolutely relevant. So that's a 10. So which bonus do you want to add on to that?
I want to suffer less harm.
Good. So as you shoot or you throw this knife and it dinks up against part of his armor, it doesn't deal any damage because it's not a magical knife and he has armor, but he instantly turns his gaze toward you and just takes both hands out, brings them together, and a beam of cold flies toward you. It looks like the armor on his sides with the ice on it all come together toward his hands and jet out toward you in this icy blast, and you take 2 harm. But you can reduce that by 1 because of the -1
great.
harm you took.
Wonderful. So I am not dying. Thank you.
Did you not heal from the last thing?
Nobody healed me.
No, you healed. Everyone healed. We said that everyone was at full health. There's
Yeah.
no way you're
Okay.
not. Oh, the
Alright.
Mephit attack! I forgot about that. No, you're definitely, yeah. So that puts you at 3 harm, right?
Yep. Not dying.
Not dying! Well, not unstable.
Oh,
Dying is 7 harm.
The water weird. That's right.
Not unstable. And I don't plan on getting there. But we have distracted. the
Yes.
monster
So, Adrian,
by
it's you, and
throwing-
you have an opening with this trident.
Okay.
He has turned his back to you. What a fool.
How dare he?
So, I have this trident in my hand. I know I can
Mary's
do
time.
something with it, but you said I don't know what.
You're not exactly sure how. I would have you roll to use magic to do anything with it.
Now, what about my...
You can also just
occult
use it
thing
as
that I have?
an attack. Your what?
Guys, hang on a second.
All right, we'll go to we'll go to Val and Dakota. What are you guys doing?
I haven't gone yet.
Or yeah, well,
Oh, yeah.
yeah. I guess I got distracted and Raven getting sloshed so bad that I thought she did something. So as you get hit, you hit the ground, and you start to stand back up. Your claws start to lightly glow the same sheen as the moon, and
Okay, sorry.
you look up at this thing who's got its hand on your neck. What do you do?
You know, basically rake down with both hands on.
Absolutely, give me that
the
roll.
around. Yeah.
That is and plus weird, that is an 11.
Okay. With your damage, you take this thing and from the top of its head to the bottom, split it in half, and it looks like it starts to glow that same color of moonlight that you can see in the two halves, and it just whoosh. You throw it to the side as its arm sloshes and turns into regular water on your neck, and you stand up with one of the water weirds killed instantly.
With that regular water, she's gonna kind of rinse her hands off real quick.
Yes, I will let you do that, no problem. I mean, you raked your hands through it. Cool. So now, Adrian, what are you doing?
Okay. I'm kind of just wondering... You said I have to roll magic. That's what I was looking up. I know I have some, like...
Yes,
weird
you have a
occult
+1 for being a tiefling for doing that.
thing. Okay. I basically want to sit there and take the staff, and I want to see if I can freeze this guy. Take his Poseidon, slam it into the water, and just freeze.
All right, I like that. You just yell freeze. It's like Spider-Man. Web, go!
You can tell he works for the government.
Yeah, use magic, and you get a +1.
Freeze.
So roll to use magic. Give that +1 for being a tiefling, and let's see how it goes.
Kill him, Adrian.
I think it went well.
I can't see it. It's too blurry.
Wow, fuck.
Two sixes.
2 6s.
Nice.
Believe me.
You take the trident
Wow.
and you spin it in your hands, and the 3-sided point down, you see ice begin to crystallize on the tips of it, and you jam it into the ground below you, and that ice shoots forward to the water that is holding Eris's feet up and start to go up part of his body. He's stuck in place. He can't move, and he takes a pretty big chunk of harm as this ice splits 2 pieces of his armor off at the legs.
Does he let Dakota drop?
I don't think he was holding
been-
Dakota.
I've been done dropped already.
It was
you?
those
Okay,
were
I
water
must have
weirds.
missed
That
that.
wasn't
Yeah,
him.
different boys.
Sorry.
You're right.
No, no
That's
problem.
all good. You hear the armor groan and creak as we move on to Dakota and Val. What are you guys doing?
Seeing what Adrian, I'm assuming this is very apparent what Adrian
Yes,
is doing.
very apparent. Hard to miss.
What I was once running for Raven, but once I see like as Raven does this whole thing and Raven's like, don't even worry about it. She will like I guess run straight past Raven. And is there a path of ice leading up to?
There is. From
this,
the trident to Eris, there is a path of ice.
Oh, superhero slide.
And you see him
it
try and
was-
yank against it, and he can't. He's stuck.
You know, I'm going to run that way and kind of use the bit of trident that is stuck in the ice to kind of like push herself off and almost like, you know, those like things where like they're like scrubbing the ice so the guy can like
Curling, yeah.
yeah. So she's gonna basically be that little like stone piece as she uses that to kind of push herself off and almost like a power slide and like use it to kind of like gain some sort of like momentum as she can like kind of break this whole thing that this I don't know what he is.
With your
This
sunblade?
merman.
So he's not
Yeah.
fully frozen. It's only his legs. His top part is still watery, but he is icy. Your sunblade's going to do real good work here.
That's exactly what I'm wanting to do.
So, give me a kicks and booty.
Go! Sweet. Yeah, that's 12, 13.
All right. What do you want to add on top?
Oh wait, so 13.
So not the
14, 15.
You rolled a 15?
Well, that's my +2 with the because I rolled a 12. And then I get all the little additives with the ancient fighting arts and then
Oh, yeah. I'll let you turn the terrible harm and suffer less harm into a +1 and a -2, or +2 and a -2, and the same for the forward. You can get +2 forward. So pick which one you want. Do you want to take less harm, deal more harm, or give extra forward?
I'll give extra forward for the next.
Okay, so
Just
you're giving a
in case if this
+2 to
fails.
whoever attacks him next. So, all right. So you take your sword and you're like flying through the air. You come down and you slice down through the shoulder towards the legs, and you cleanly cut through one of the plates of his armor like a knife through butter, a hot knife through butter, and it just melts the armor into as the armor melts. It sizzles into his body and hardens again, and these little drips of armor, and he groans and moves towards you as he reaches his hands up and launches you into the air with a jet of water, and you slam down onto the ground face first. You take 2 harm.
Oh, I'm sorry. Oh.
And Val, what are you doing? He is not looking good, by the way.
I think Val sees.
There's one more water weird.
She turns and looks at Raven, who just absolutely decimated something, and is like, okay. And then sees what Dakota did, and she's like, okay. And then takes her 45-degree angle golf club and just starts hoofing it the same way.
Fantastic.
That Dakota just did.
Are you gonna attack Eris and do the same thing?
I'm going to attempt to.
This is gonna be so good if she gets the kill.
Go!
Can I do the charging into immediate danger?
Oh, absolutely.
thing?
This feels
What could go
precisely
wrong?
like charging into immediate danger.
Okay.
I wouldn't describe it as any
so,
less.
I'm gonna hold 2, and we'll see once we roll what.
Do we get to cheer
we
her
might
as she's
do.
running?
Val.
Go Val! Go Val!
Val.
You get +2 because Dakota gave you +2.
Yep.
Oh, that's like a 13.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So your golf club deals 2, right?
Yeah.
And then what does there's plenty of openings in his armor, so you don't need to worry about damage reduction. What does what do you want to use your hold on? And your 10 plus.
I hold 2. Oh my gosh, there's so many things.
Yeah, I think you can add like 3 damage to this attack.
Yeah. I want to inflict additional harm to him.
Great.
For the 10 plus.
Great.
And then for the what could go wrong, I get a hold 2 from that. So I'm going to inflict another harm, and then I'm going to reduce someone's harm by 1, and I'll reduce Dakota's harm by 1. If that's possible. Or would that be?
I don't think it makes sense right now, but you can reduce your own harm by 1 because he is going to hurt you back.
Sure. Yeah, I'll do that.
So he's turned now. Because his back was faced against Dakota, and he has now turned his body, and you see him raising his shield up to you because he can hear you coming. And because your golf club is angled, you slam your hands up against his shield, but the golf club goes into his faceplate and crushes in the center of his faceplate. And you see him just headbutt you back after that and force the golf club back into your face. And he shoves you off with his shield. But he's reeling from that hit, and he drops a couple of inches on the water, and you can see he's now about only 6 feet tall, and is basically there. Mary.
Oh God.
Dakota, what?
I was just gonna say, how bad does he look? Does he look like basically not a threat anymore, where we could definitely get the gang up on him and
you see the water around him starting to pool back to try and heal his wounds and get him back to power.
Oh God, don't! Dakota doesn't want to kill him. Okay, fine. Do it, Mary. Kill him.
Can I
pull out the heat gun?
The words have never been uttered.
Can I opt to let Raven go?
You can absolutely opt to let Raven go.
Yeah, I wanted help, but I do not have the capabilities to hurt this thing.
All right.
Don't you have him, Matt? Don't you have your
What do
gun?
you mean?
No, she left the gun. Raven.
I'm not gonna bring the gun into boiling water. That's
Raven, you are up.
Confuse him with the theory.
Okay, so I have a question. since I have the players, like Raven has been searching through the player's handbook for things.
I forgot to mention really quick, Val, you take 2 harm as he slams you to the ground with his shield. But you reduce it to 1 because, yes. Yeah. Anyways, sorry.
But for like when because she originally looked up like the stuff about the water elementals, so she would have.
Yeah,
learned
you tell
all
me.
of their
You tell me.
things.
What do you cast?
She wants to cast Ray of Frost at the big guy.
At Eris?
Yeah.
Okay, I will remind you that he was covered in ice for a lot of it, but you did also see him take ice damage. Yes. All right. No, this is good. I like this line of logic. I'm super into it. Tell me what you say and do.
Okay, so she's going to she remembers seeing there was a particular gesture that she had to do, so she kind of like takes her claws and wraps them around, and then says, because it also has a verbal component, Glacio Radius, and she sends out this like ray of frost energy towards the
Sweet.
creature.
Oh, I'm so proud of you. Radius. Latin. Learning from Alcott Devereaux, wizard extraordinaire. Roll to use magic, and we shall see.
Oh, that was really good. That was a 10, so plus whatever.
All right.
Man, there's no reason for me to help.
So,
Okay.
Raven, how's it look?
Oh, I didn't expect this. So
He's got this ice coming up his body, shards going through him into his shoulders. One of his shoulder pauldrons is cut to ribbons. His faceplate is caved in, and he has his face kind of pointed toward you guys.
So she turns, and as she lets go of this ray of frost towards him, it's kind of infused with that same like there's the natural like frost magic like aura, but it's that additional like the moonlight kind of infused within it that had shown in her claws when she first did that big attack last round. And as she lets it go, it just kind of the moment it starts touching him, the ice starts kind of creeping up all over his like body at the moment where it touches, and it just crackles out like
and just
veins
fills
almost.
his innards with ice.
Yeah.
And as it does, you see him.
Bro.
You see the ice take over his body, and it breaks at his base, and you see almost legs for him as he falls down onto his knees and onto his elbow. And he's huge. The armor is massive, but he looks toward all of you and he says, "Protected." And shatters into bits of ice as all of the water in the room swells, and you hear a scream overtake the cavern and rush toward the back wall and hit a wave that splashes out, and it all settles, and the lake becomes what it once was, with this broken set of armor in front of you and a pool of ice that slowly begins to melt. And that is where we will end tonight's session.
Wouldn't the armor sink though?
The armor's on the floor level with you guys, not in the lake.
Oh, okay.
Although some of the bits did get washed into the lake. But yes, that's where we will end tonight's session. Thank you guys so much for learning so many cool things about the world I'm making. Oh my gosh. I'm so excited.
To do the question
Evelyn,
before we forget
the
again?
fact that you recognize the word Socorus as an ancient Netherese city, it makes me so happy. Jeez. Thank you guys so much. We'll do the questions next episode because we do have to do our raid over into Mr. Gazumba. But
we're gonna go raid Jay.
I will let you guys go. We won't dilly-dally any more than we have to. Thank you guys so much for watching. And Evelyn, why don't you get that raid going, and we will...
I'm gonna get that kicked off.
Okay, so, but while she gets that kicked off, we do have a question we like to ask here on the Blue Box stream. It is a very specific question that probably everyone in the chat is aware of at this point, but for those who aren't, if you're a follower and you have not subscribed yet, there might be some more parts to this question. Let's move on to the next part. What about subs who have let their sub expire? No, that's not good. No, that's not good. What about followers who haven't subbed? No, those aren't good either.
No.
Let's see. We have one question for all of those 3 categories of people.
What
are you doing? Thank you guys so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed. Come back for whenever we do this again, and do I get to say Blue Box out?
You can.
Blue Box
Blue Box out.
Rating now.
Bye, guys.
Gang. I mean,
And
game
we're
gang.
good.
Raid's done.
The raid's done, and we're done